Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Not come on in. Not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Bondi Blue. I'm back for another Bondi Blue show. But before we get into the thing, girl, Reset by Design Wellness is offering you a luxurious wellness package. Okay. Go on down to the website, resetbydesignwellness.com. Also follow us on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, then you can see our posts that we share and you can follow them as well. We have Maritas, Tulum, Riviera Mara, okay, Bali. Those are the upcoming trips, okay, for this year and next year. Now, the Bali trip is sold out. I can't wait. July 8th through 15th, it's going to be a ball. But after that, girl, we're all over the globe, girl. And you might even be able to bring your man or your partner, whichever you prefer. Okay. We like a mixed crowd. So, yes, y'all, make sure y'all sign up. I just put the code in the chat, Bondi5, to get 5% off during the month of June for whatever package you decide to purchase. It's $500 down. Okay. You can do payment plan through a firm, I believe. So yeah, y'all, it's definitely feasible for those of you that really need a reset, really need a really nice trip, don't want to have to go through the logistics of handling everything yourself. This is the perfect space for you, especially if you are a part of my community and you rock with my energy and my frequency. This is something that I believe that you would thoroughly enjoy. So please come on through Reset by Design Wellness. Thank you so much. Mauritius. I knew I was saying it wrong, girl. That's all right. I'll learn to say it right once I go. Okay. I'll hear it said repeatedly correct once I go there. Okay. Which is also in Africa. Okay. And that'll be our second trip to Africa. And our first one was Ghana. It was really dope. So thank everybody for coming through today for the show. Hi, girl. Okay, so I'ma tell y'all, I did not watch the BET Awards, and I feel like I got left out of something. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like I got left out. And I went and looked at the clips and I was like, this is why. Like I could feel that I just didn't care. Like it looked great. Like I wanted to see Maya's performance. I feel like A. Marie got up there and tried to, let y'all know that stop playing on my top. Okay. This is the way I have always sang. Y'all take things so far on the internet. Like y'all couldn't just criticize A. Marie for not liking her vocals or feeling like she's not a strong vocalist. Y'all had to turn it into think pieces. Y'all kept saying that Beyonce stole her career. Anybody that actually was saying that is just stupid. Like, I'm sorry. Like, no disrespect. Maybe you're not stupid now, but in that moment, you were being a blonde. No disrespect to the blonde women, but y'all know what I'm saying. Okay. It was given a blonde moment, girl. It's giving goofy. It's giving what the fuck are you even talking about? Goof troop. The truth of the matter is A. Marie is a really great artist. She may not have the strongest vocals, but she's a really dope artist. And if you follow her as a person, you know that the reason why her career didn't go the way you thought it was going to go for her own personal reasons and her own personal journey. She does amazing like work outside of that. Like I follow her on social media and on YouTube, and I love her book reviews, and she's so smart and so, just intelligent and empathetic and just an amazing individual to watch. Okay. If you don't know her personally, you know what I'm saying? Because you can only know so much about somebody through a screen. But I like A. Marie. I feel like A. Marie looks beautiful. I feel like A. Marie is singing the way she always has. Her tiny desk, however, is hard when you can't hear yourself. She could not hear herself next to the band. You could tell. But it doesn't mean that she is like her vocals are the same, y'all. The vocals are the same. She's still able to hit some of her high notes, but it was always, as my girl Roxanne would say, a pew pew mew mew soft tone. And sometimes she would give you a stronger tone, but it's not the same thing as like say a Beyonce. Okay. To me, this is no different than, say, for instance, in the 60s and the 70s, the difference between a Diana Ross and a Florence Ballard. Is that the lady who was in the group with her, who she replaced? Like at some point, there was a stronger vocalist, but as music becomes television, like it becomes transported out there, it becomes about the look and no longer about the sound. In the transition between radio being one of our main sources of media into the television era, this is why you would see groups like that change whoever was in the front, because the prettiest girls sometimes did not have the strongest vocals. So once it becomes a television performance and not just a performance that people are going to hear in a recording studio over the radio, now we have to make everybody want the artist for different reasons, not just because of how they sound. You pass that all the way down till we get people like who y'all thought at the time, y'all thought Maya was somebody like that. Y'all thought A. Marie was somebody like that. Cassie, these are people who you thought because they looked a certain way, they were being pushed to the front, not being as strong vocalists as some other people. But I would like to let y'all know that that's always the case. I love Beyonce. Beyonce has put in work to become who she is, but there have always been somebody who will say there's a better vocalist out there than B. Like B put in work to end up how she is now. Like this, drop on the floor and keep the note type of performance shit that she can do now, that she's been doing on past BET Awards, right? I feel like that was also a stage where she really got to stretch her performance is on the BET stage, right? So I just don't like the way y'all frame perspective, the way y'all frame situations. It just sometimes comes off as just negative for no fucking reason. I felt like y'all was dragging it. Like, I just felt like y'all was dragging it. Like, it's okay, girl. Maya, I saw Maya's clip. She tore it down, but I haven't watched the whole thing, so I won't get into it. But I will, as the intro to this live, let y'all know the reason why I wasn't jiving with it is because I feel like back in the day, like in 90s, early 2000s, when this shit was like really popping, we did not know so much about celebrities because of social media not being present at the time. Now that social media is present and we really get to see these people up close, it's not exciting to see them in especially in the black capacity. And the reason why I say that, please don't get me wrong, I love who I am and I love y'all for real, but it often feels like it's phony and it's fake. And we're going to use Black excellence and all of that so we can converge all of the degenerates together with some of the excellent people and then put some glitter and shiny shit. And then we'll ignore the fact that the people we honor are problematic. The people that we honor may not be safe people. Like one of the biggest examples of that is watching Young Thug drag Mariah the Scientist down the red carpet. Like, I feel like respectability politics wasn't ever really it, but there was something in there that was right. There was something in there that was right. And I love Snoop's music. I love who he has been for us musically in some ways. But now that I am older and now that all of this shit has happened and we've seen them up close, it's like, okay, girl. It's giving cognitive dissonance. It's giving cognitive dissonance. It's the same thing as like people protesting about the ICE raids outside and y'all are inside like, child, that ain't our problem. Yes, it is. Black people, I've been telling y'all, yes, there's a way for us to not be the first ones running to protect everybody the way we always do. And I'm specifically talking about Black women. There's a way for us not to be running in front of bullets for everybody, especially when they don't show up for us. True. But at the same time, right is right and wrong is wrong. And you should not feel comfortable living in a country that is handling things like this is Auschwitz or, you know what I'm saying? They're the Gestapo. Like historically, these are bad signs for everybody, honey. Historically, these are bad signs for everybody. But the American system is to keep y'all stupid. So y'all don't learn about any of the things that have happened in history, or you find history boring because you didn't have a good history teacher at any point. And so then, and I'm not blaming anybody for that. I'm blaming the school system and just the whole system that just really doesn't want you to know what the fuck is going on. Because then when history repeats itself, you have no idea what's happening. You have no idea what's happening. And y'all are just inside the building, you know what I'm saying, doing your little Harlem shakes and shit. reminding us about washed up artists that nobody cares about anymore. And when I say that, I'm really talking about Bow Wow and B2K and them, because y'all are already on tour. Like we're not forgetting about you guys. Y'all are already on tour. It's always some shit with y'all. Like it is no, you know what I'm saying? Like it is no disrespect, y'all. I'm down for it, but I'm just like through. I'm low key through. And I'm gonna use that to segue because I believe I saw Tyler Perry. Um, Tyler Perry was giving speeches and shit, right? Right? Tyler Perry was giving speeches about representing black women and representing their stories and all of this shit, right? And just, hold up, just to go back before we get into that, I just want to pull up a few clips. And I didn't want to pull up any performances because I ain't got time for the BET of it all. But like this, like when I said Young Thug dragging Mariah the Scientist down the red carpet. Like she's not there because she's an artist, right? She want look, I would like to go because I'm also an artist. No, we ain't got time for that shit. Let's go. This ain't about you, bitch. This about me. And if y'all think that that's not like to me, if y'all think this is not exemplary of their entire relationship, that girl has, I feel like what I've heard, I don't know them like that. Their relationship, I don't cover it like that. But from what I do remember, her getting into fights over him while he was in jail like a bird, her pausing her tour or not doing what she needed to do for her own career because she wanted to be, sitting, running behind this nigga while he was in jail. Y'all was trying to act like them niggas didn't do that shit because y'all love to act like, oh, it's just the system instead of recognizing that niggas be moving like loud about their illegalities. Like they're obvious. they don't care. And then when they get in trouble, black people do this, oh, the system is rigged and the black man and y'all do all of that bullshit and act like them niggas didn't do that shit. And I'm like, the niggas did that shit. Okay. They got off because he got money and good lawyers, but that nigga did that shit. Okay, I don't care what nobody talking about. That's my feelings. That's my opinion. Is that he did that shit. And then during the Diddy trial, when he's supposed to be minding his business, he online calling Kid Cudi a snitch, which could put Kid Cudi in some type of danger that somebody like him would post that on social media. Like, do you see how we champion these niggas to get out? They're not changing. They're not different. They're exactly the same, narcissistic gangster nigga that they always have been, right? And he especially has to put on this role for y'all because he was out there wearing dresses and shit, and y'all hood niggas didn't know how to take that. You got to be a psychopath in order to be a hood nigga walking around in dresses like, yeah, I kill you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is sad though, y'all. I just, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of bullshit, right? Like this is bullshit to me, y'all. So Snoop Dogg gets honored musically, got it. Love Snoop. But as a man and as a person, the abuser that also has awards in his namesake, literally, I feel like did not just, he didn't stop abusing people in the 90s. He didn't stop abusing people with Michelle A. He was also abusing that last marriage he was in and the therapist who told, oh, mad your kids turned against you. You mad because you think the therapist turned the kids against you. You think the wife, everybody turned the kids against you. Like the kids didn't grow up with you being a tyrant, being somebody that comes in and out as they please, and then also sometimes being an asshole. And then you got the long-suffering wife with her Mary J. Blige glasses on. Because being connected with this man, yeah, it came with all of this access and, all of these high highs, but I'm sure it had very low lows and a lot of humiliation. Right? Like it just and then on top of that, Trump. On top of that, him performing for one of Trump's events. Like you're not on code in any way. And then you show up to the Black Entertainment Awards and everybody's like, yeah, let's honor Snoop. And he didn't even stay on code with black people. What I feel like we should be staying on code with. But capitalism, right? Capitalism. You care more about money than you ever care about being black. That's just what it is. So that's another, yes, the Black community, y'all know the community is not okay. And the award show just exemplified how y'all like to put shiny on shit. Y'all like to put well-dressed, dresses on shit. Let's see what Brittany Renner said about her relationship with the warlock, the cult leader, Kevin Gates.
You know, we have to ask, don't want to be messy at all. However, what is your relationship like now with Kevin, post-divorce? We did get to see you guys on the carpet together, and then we heard the announcement that you guys are now getting a divorce. What is that relationship like now for you personally also, kind of after the fact?
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing for me to comment about that because, again, it is what it is. I'm here, I'm alive and well, and I feel like people need to understand that you never have any regrets when you just follow your heart. There's no stone left unturned. You can be at peace with whatever happened. So that's just kind of where I am,
I mean, as a person who went through divorce myself, I'm like, there's so many negative connotations that come with it, but a lot of people don't see like, no, maybe they really did need that. So for anybody who is in a situation where they're like, you know what, like I'm stuck in this, or not saying that it's related to your situation, but anybody who's like, I want to get a divorce, but I don't want that negative connotation, what are some words of advice that you would have for them?
It's really simple, actually, because life is quite simple. It is better to be divorced and happy than
now,
we got married.
It's better to be divorced and happy than in a marriage and miserable. That tells me enough. That tells me everything I need to know, which means I was right about the warlock, the energy vampire, the narcissist, the weirdo that is Kevin Gates. And I really wish that Brittany Renner would go and find her own religion. A religion that values and appreciates her story and what she's been through and who she is and who she wants to be. You can find discipline without getting into a religion that I feel like is based in making you feel shame about the decisions that you've made. It only exemplifies the shame that she already feels. And that should let y'all know that the religion is not fixing the problem. Do you hear me? The religion is not fixing the problem. So that's why, even though, you know what I'm saying? And y'all, we talked about it on Instagram, but yes, she talked about how they got married through Islam. She says Islam annoys the shit out of me. I'm like, girl, Islam? Is that what the natives are calling it? Because I've always heard it referred to as Islam. Okay. But they got married on April 6th and then divorced on May 28th. I want to say this very simple for everybody. He, I believe, is still legally married to Drika Gates. In Islam, in their religion, they perform ceremonies that have no legal ramifications, right? You're not signing any real paperwork to bind yourself to a person legally, but the marriage is spiritual. It's no different than y'all going into the goddamn rainforest, putting little twig rings on your finger and then falling into a damn fountain holding hands and then come out saying, I'm a wife and this is my husband. Like, it's no different. It's no different. It's something that's being done for the I'm right about the pronunciation. That's what I thought. Girl, when she kept saying Islam, I was like, girl, see, this is how you know it's not real, because you don't even know how to say the word right. Like, damn, girl, you ain't never seen Malcolm X? Like, oh my God. Like, anyway. She's a common law. No, she's not even that. She's not even that. And I unless you meant Brittany, because Drika Gates is the person that he's actually legally married to. You cannot marry more than one person in this country. I know a lot of people are not familiar on America's laws, because a lot of y'all don't know that prostitution is illegal everywhere except for one state, I believe, which is where Vegas is, Nevada. Nevada might be the only state that allows prostitution, but outside of that, it's illegal in all the other states. Because y'all be real confused about it when we talking about the Diddy trial and y'all not understanding. Is that illegal? You don't know that prostitution is illegal, honey? Is everybody okay? This was not a marriage for the aesthetics. This was a marriage so that he could, first of all, antagonize Drika. That's why every time a post comes out about them, Drika is somewhere having somebody film her looking like she's all at ease and unbothered. It's bullshit. Drika is on bullshit too. I've now come to that conclusion because staying married to somebody like him, as he does all of these things to try to get a reaction out of you, and you're like, nigga, you're not getting a reaction out of me, but we're still legally married to each other. Yeah, it's giving you on bullshit too. It's giving you on bullshit too. It's giving you like for him to go out and do all of this. And then whenever he comes back to you, y'all can have weird, degenerate, angry sex. And then you can go back to, your weed garden and, all of the things that you do to give off a peaceful aesthetic while he's whirling around the world as a tornado, uprooting shit. But Brittany Renner was always going to get caught in his tornado because she's not centered in herself. She's always doing shit for men, whether it was being over-sexualized for men or now covering it all up for men to get a certain type of man and also to like rid her of the shame she feels for the life that she's lived. And I feel like the only way to rid yourself of that shame is to be real with yourself about how you got there and to release it. Meaning that I made the decision. It may not have been the best decision, but I made it. I'm human. I'm okay. And it's over. And if I want to be different moving forward, then I'm going to be different moving forward. But I'm not going to carry that shame with me, especially once you identify what's happened. Because a lot of how young girls, and I'm saying young girls because Brittany Renner has been in the industry for a very long time, since her 20s. When you end up coming from high school and college into I'm like a village whore type of vibe, it's usually because somebody has already harmed you. Like no young woman is grabbing all of that shame on her own. Like you're not. It's being put on you before you even do shit. Then when you do shit, it's shame. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just shame. And I feel like that's why she's gotten into this. And I really wish she would release herself from that because it's only going to end up with you going through these cycles over and over again because you don't want to forgive yourself, because you don't want to give yourself the benefit of the doubt the way you want to give a nigga like Kevin Gates the benefit of the doubt. So, yeah, I pray for the girls. I really, really do. So that's going on at the BET Awards, right? There's another thing going on at the BET Awards. Where's the video?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yes. It's notched now, so that's good.
Tell me about this look today.
Well, it's by Aunt L'Amour, and my designer is Jay Bolin. Get your ass
on,
over
Jay
here.
Bolin.
This is my designer.
Yeah, and Aunt L'Amour, African-American designer who is so talented. And we get to work with the Tisha Campbell.
Aww. Well, it looks amazing.
Thank you. So for those who don't know, I recently got plastic surgery. It's an ET exclusive. And it was a mommy makeover. I had extra skin from the baby and a little bit of droppage here and a little bit of droppage there. And they tightened me together. And so I happened to be working on the Miss Pat show with Taj and Lily from SWV, and we got a chance to talk, and I convinced them to call the doctors, and they wanted mommy makeovers too, and I just feel like, we should be feeling good about ourselves. I'm a newly single mom, not newly single, it's been 8 years, but I'm a single mom, not ready for dating, but, I just wanted to feel good for me, and that's what this was allowing me to have, just to feel good about me. And I wanted them to feel good too. So I just said, here's the number. And they called. So I'm happy for them.
Okay. So listen to me. This is going on, right? Y'all know how much I love Tisha Campbell. I love Tisha Campbell. But if I'm being honest about how I perceive Tisha Campbell through her career all of these years, is that Tisha is somebody that is desperately trying to be seen a certain way. When she was on Martin, and I feel like people like Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold are playing versions of themselves in the roles that they play. They're never playing anybody that far away from their own personality. And I feel like that's what I'm saying. I feel like didn't Lily already get work done? But I feel like there's something to be said for the girls who used to have a very natural aesthetic when they were young and we were in the 90s and that was in to how they've transitioned to a surgery, I need to look a certain way in order to feel beautiful type of aesthetic. And we're going to get into something, okay? When it comes to this aesthetic conversation. But I just also feel like it's just these things all over the place that are meant to make you feel like this feels good. But when you actually really look at it up close, does it feel good? Does it feel good? Like for her, I think this is great because I do think that Gina has been, and I'm calling her Gina. Gina has been battling with her weight ever since she was no longer as skinny as she needed to be. And then the fact that that was a part of the conversation on shows that she had been, her body has always been up for discussion in the shows that she's been in, which also reminds me of how, as much as we might love and appreciate men ain't shit. Men ain't shit, y'all. Think about it. On Martin, he was all, I could have gave you hips if I was. Listen, I could have gave you hips if I could, Gina. You know what I'm saying? Gina's body was fucking banging. Like, and still, he had to find a way to pick her apart. Big head. You know what I'm saying? And then transition into her being on My Wife and Kids. She was still very, very slim that first season. And then I believe she had a baby. And they were trying to be real by making that a part of her storyline. But it also, I feel like, reflected how they felt about her as a woman, period. It's not just a story. This is really what she's going through, and y'all are amplifying it on a television show, that her husband is not attracted to her because she had a baby and gained some weight. Do y'all remember those episodes of My Wife and Kids? Like, when you look back on it, everybody's acting like Damon was entitled to feel that way. I keep myself up for you. You didn't just have a fucking child, nigga. And that's the part that made me mad about that. Because on the show, she didn't have a child. In real life, she had a child. But they made her weight a part of the story anyway. Like, she just went and gained weight out of nowhere. And now is expecting her husband to be turned on by her. And he's not. Like, and in the way she goofily would throw herself over him, like, to me, that reminds me of what she's doing right now in this moment. The fact that she's still talking about she's newly single, the fact that it's been 8 years, I'm still not ready to date. Why are you not ready to date after 8 years? Ain't that nigga engaged to some young girl who looks like the version of you from 1994? Why are you not ready? So I feel like this is not to like shame. This is not to make Tisha feel bad, because I'm glad that Tisha did whatever she needed to do to make herself feel good, because I've been watching for how, like, I've watched her struggle with that for as long as I can remember. I feel like I've been watching Tisha as a person dealing with her weight and wanting to fit this mold for what's attractive. And if she doesn't fit the mold for the it girl, it's painful for her to exist if she doesn't fit the mold of the it girl. And that's so hurtful. Even when y'all think back to what was like one of the first times you really see her in a role outside of like Little Shop of Horrors or little TV shows and shit like that. When Tisha was in School Days. When Tisha was in School Days, licking niggas' parts. And that's another reason why I don't understand why y'all don't have any sympathy for the women who have been with Sean Combs. The reason why is because we literally got to see how that happens in School Days through Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell was all in love with that weird ass nigga who was in charge of the fraternity. Remember? Licking the part down the middle of his head and all of that. And then he asked her to have sex with with Spike Lee's character from his fraternity. And because she loved him so much, because she was so desperate for him to love her and see her a certain way, she did it. And then after she did it, he threw her away. So it's wild for me for us to have seen through movies, through television. We've watched how these things have actually taken place. We watch how it can happen, and then you find out that it's happening in real life, and all of a sudden you don't understand how a grown woman got there. Like, what? You don't? You don't? Yeah, she has sarcoidosis, so she's had a lot of health issues as well. So this is another reason why when I say this, I'm not saying it from the standpoint, again, I'm not judging Tisha. I'm glad Tisha did what she needed to do to feel beautiful, right? But I don't feel like it's something that we need to be imparting on everybody, because Taj has always, even as Taj has gotten older, I feel like Taj still has looked good because Taj has been athletic the entire time. Lily is somebody that I feel like, you did surgery already, I'm sure, right? And that's fine. But when we're pushing this out there, like this is something everybody needs to be doing versus feeling better about who we are in whatever stage of life that we're in, and not having to feel like I feel like as Tisha, I shouldn't have to be Gina from Martin for everybody for the rest of my fucking life. And then that means I shouldn't have to be that thin for everybody for the rest of my fucking life. I shouldn't have to be that, you know what I'm saying? Like this version of whatever you think I'm supposed to be for my entire fucking life. And I do feel like that's something to be said here. And y'all feel the energy. Y'all feel this very, and she's so good at that. But something about it feels empty on the inside. But again, I want the best. I want the best for Tisha, because I think Tisha is an amazing talent, and I feel like people love to act like Tisha is not the talent that she is. If you go and watch Martin back, y'all, yeah, Martin is funny and all of that, but Martin was sadistic, mean, cruel, immature. Tisha made that show. Tisha having heart, making him be softer, making him showcase himself to be somebody other than an angry little boy that wants to go around poking girls because you want to make sure you think you better than whatever girl you got a crush on. That was Martin's whole thing. So yeah, y'all. Just I just want to have conversations, y'all. It's not to be judgmental or anything like that, but it's just to clock things. That's all. Identify them.
And we're kind of in a time of everyone being more open about whatever work they are doing. Like Kylie Jenner opening up about what boob job work she got. Good. So why is it so important to share publicly,
Well, first of all, I'm an open book. Second, I just think it's more important for people to know why one does it if you want to feel good about you. I personally, like I said, I had a lot of extra skin from the babies. And I wanted to just be honest about it. I think it's more important to be honest, to know that, I didn't get all this by myself. So, and now I get to kind of, I'm not showing it off, but it's nice to be a little bit more snatched around that area. For me, it's not for everybody, but it was for me.
No, Tisha. You know what I'm saying? Like say I want to show it off. Say I want to show it off, Tisha. Y'all see what I'm saying? Even with getting this surgery done, it's like she's still trying to hold herself back from fully feeling herself. So it's just I love the women. I love the girls, y'all. I do love the girls. And I want to have a conversation about like the moms and the daughters. I want to get into that before we get into this conversation with T.S. Madison and Nene, because that was very interesting, and it just kind of put some things into perspective, right? So, y'all, the way I was tussling with people in the comments on this post, 18-year-old TikToker speaks out against her mother who skipped her graduation due to her 31-year-old boyfriend being in attendance. Man has allegedly been dating the girl since she was a minor. Okay. So let's get into it, and I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Because sometimes, because this is my comment. Her mama may be immature and jealous, but a 31-year-old man when you are 18 ain't it. It's just not. And there was so many people in the comments that all they wanted to argue with me about is jealous of what? Like, y'all should see how jealous of what? Dating, like it's over and over again. Jealous of what? Jealous of what? Jealous of what? And it's just like, it doesn't matter how many times I answer it, they're still okay, maybe jealous of what? And when I said maybe, it's not that I'm saying her mom is jealous. She said her mom is jealous. I am validating the young girl's feelings, because at the end of the day, y'all act like it's not a thing for women to be jealous of their daughters, when it absolutely is. Before we get into that, you know what? No, I'm gonna start this, and then I'm gonna go to the clip from the podcast that I saw. So let me let the young girl talk.
Please don't mind me. I had just got done taking pictures. But it's crazy because I tried to spare you. I tried to spare you on this app. I tried to keep your business booming. I tried to, prevent a lot of things. I tried to keep all the stuff you was doing off social media, once again, off the media, to protect you and your business. Because last time when I was telling them about the foster care stuff, you said that they was attacking you and they was doing this and they were doing that. So I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt this time and not bring it to the net. But since we doing that on live stuff, let's get it. First of all, no matter who I'm talking to or what the case may be, you let a nigga get in between you coming to my graduation, talking about you didn't come because he was there when you could have sat thousands of seats away from him in your own little area. Now let me repeat that. You let a nigga stop you from coming to your graduation. She ain't never met him, y'all. She ain't never spoke to this boy, shit, nothing. You let a nigga stop you from coming to your daughter's graduation. You're sick. You sick and you weird. Mad because I talked to somebody you don't want me talking to. Please don't mind me. I had just got to this. I'm grown. First, then it's another thing. Like, I was in foster care for 2 years. You didn't check up on me, no nothing. So for you to try to be trying to get all in my personal life about who I talk to, but you, for 2 years, you did not call to see where I was at, call to see what I was doing, call to see if I needed anything. I could have been getting raped for all as you know. I could have been talking to a fucking 70-year-old for all as you know. Like please don't play with me. Like you weird. And I promise y'all I'm done. Like that was it for me. I promise y'all I am done. Wish the best for her, but I am done. And I'm gonna tell y'all how she been doing me too off this camera. Dude, this only acting like she care.
So I feel like the first thing, because y'all, the first feeling I got is, child, these teenagers scare me, girl. Because I have experienced how you cannot talk to some kids. You can't. They don't hear you. They don't understand you. And it's like, even if you know what's right, you can't say nothing because the kids are going to act like bullies, basically, right? But I need for y'all to actually hear kids and then remember that they're kids, right? The thing that makes you scared of them is the thing that you need to be reminded of. They're kids. They're children. They don't know any better. Why would she feel that way? What did she tell y'all about her life? That's how you know people don't even be listening to what the kids are saying. The girl said, I went into foster care and my mama did not check on me for 2 whole years. What that tells me off rip is you've already created the space for an old ass man to come and manipulate your daughter because you weren't there. Because whatever she was going through, you weren't there. I'm going to let the mama talk.
Right now, because of me telling y'all how old this man is. Other than that, I got a text right now. She said, in Jesus Christ, don't come. I don't want you there. Block my number. Been had me blocked for days. Y'all don't know what's going on. It's always 2 sides to the story. That's why I keep receipts.
And this right here, this is why I said she was immature. My comment said she was immature because as a mother, why are you on the internet talking about you have receipts on your teenager? Who are you trying to convince? When she's online telling y'all about receipts and all of this shit, I feel like it's because you care more about what everybody else thinks than you care about how your daughter feel. Who you trying to convince, bitch? People on the internet who don't give a fuck about you or your daughter?
She crashes out, break things, pull out knives, tear down stuff. But I'ma still tell her what's right and what's wrong. She said, let her learn her own mistakes. I said, okay.
And I'm on parole, but
if somebody asked me why you ain't go to the graduation, that's the truth. That's why.
Why is the little boy on the side? This look like her son, right? It's her son that's under the daughter. talking about I'm on parole, da 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 da. You could tell he's just singing a song, but the fact that it didn't register. She didn't think about nothing he was saying. So in my mind, y'all, good parents will usually try to knock that street shit out of their kids, especially in front of people. And when I say knock it, I don't mean actually hit them, but like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Don't promote that type of shit on this live. You wondering, like, girl, to me, it looked like you ain't raising them. You might be there, but I don't know if you raising them fucking kids, ma'am.
Why I didn't go to the graduation? What is the big deal?
What is the big deal about why you did not go to her high school graduation? Yet everybody in the comments wanted to argue with me defending this woman like she's some great mom. Okay. You might know better than me, Johnny Blaze, because she was one of the people in the comments saying she know this lady, she's a great mother, which is so odd to me because you could never know the type of parent somebody really is. You're not in the house with them all of the time. I don't give a fuck what you've seen.
If you know what you're doing is not right, you want people to hide it, don't do it. The people asked me the truth, I gave them the truth. I'm not going to leave my kids at home by themselves, my little ones, and I'm not going to go around somebody that's a P word.
So you have never left your 3 youngest kids, because that's what she was talking about. Her daughter had her high school graduation. She had, I believe, 5 or 6 tickets. It was a ticket for the grandmama, the mama, the son here, and for that man that she fucking with. Okay. So that left only 2 other tickets. So the mama is like, I have 3 small ones at home. So if I can't bring 2 of them, if I can't bring all of them, I don't want to bring any of them, which I would then feel like, why not get a babysitter? So you don't have nobody else in your community that could watch them kids for you while you go to your eldest daughter's graduation? To me, it sounds like a woman making a whole bunch of excuses for why she's not showing up for her daughter. That's what that sounds like for me. And I'm going to be fucking real with y'all. If my daughter decided that she wanted to go and date a man, I am standing there every step of the fucking way, making that nigga feel uncomfortable. You pulling away so you can punish her is not protecting her. She's just trying to protect her by not showing up, by moving out of the way so that the man can further convince her that ain't nobody there for you, so you should just depend on me. The fact that y'all don't understand why these girls run into the arms of these old ass men is because they're running from issues with their families. It's usually because they don't have a really safe home. They don't feel safe there. So they're running to somebody else that's manipulating them. The mama not showing up is not going to protect the child. It's going to convince her that my mama not showing up, so it's okay for this grown ass man to take care of me, because who else is going to take care of me? My mama not. I don't know what the fuck y'all be thinking about, but I'm showing up at my daughter's graduation. I don't give a fuck. And I'm going to be there and make that nigga feel uncomfortable. This is my child. You think I'm going to not show up and he's going to be there? Oh no. I'm going to show up and make motherfuckers feel uncomfortable. And then I also said, if you was really trying to protect your daughter, you would have called the police as soon as that nigga showed up. That's why I'm more inclined to believe the daughter's chain of events, no matter how y'all slice it, because the mama was showing me a lot of ignorant shit all on her own. The fuck? I'm sorry, y'all. This type of stuff upsets me because it's like real life. And then y'all wonder how these girls get in these fucked up situations.
That's it. I don't care if I could have said all the way across over the way. I still got a bump in his, but I still got that in my mind that he's there. She said, did she invite her siblings? She only had 5 tickets. Only acting like she care right now because of me telling y'all how old this man is. She invited her grandma, me, and Anthony, and that was it. She said the little kids, she didn't even want them to come.
Maybe she didn't want them to come because she wanted the moment to finally be about her. Bitch, how many kids you got? You got 5 kids in total. It might be even more than that. And from what I understand, she was probably a teenage mom as well. Girl, what? It sounds like your daughter wanted the moment to be about her. And you bringing them little ass kids, them little badass kids, was going to distract from the fact that it was her moment.
She didn't even want them to come. She said, no, I don't want them coming. She didn't even want them to come. She said, only me and him could come. So you trying to tell me you want me to leave the 3 little ones at the house by themselves?
No, we want you to get a babysitter, bird. Are you okay?
All these hours away and go, nah. She invited her grand.
Start off by saying all that, oh, you didn't want to be there because he was there. I don't want to hear that. Y'all, this lady met up with me while I was with him at a gas station so that I can get in the car with her so that we could go to the car show on Easter. That's number one. On my birthday, she met up with him in the Benz. It's on her page. We met halfway, Barrel Beach. He drove me halfway. Nothing was said. She didn't meet him. No, nothing. That was that. So she could have did the same thing at graduation. There was plenty of times they was a couple of feet from each other. She also mentioned that she will actually meet him one day. She just got to see his intentions and if he gonna stick around.
Bitch, you knew how old he was and that's what you were saying. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? So somebody was in the comments, I don't believe that crap. Oh, you don't believe it. Oh, you don't believe it? So we just gonna automatically not believe what the teenager is saying because she a teenager, right?
And all that you didn't want to leave the kids at home and not come to my graduation. I don't want to hear that either. Because for Easter, you left them up there all the way in Orlando. Faith, Loso, and Ayana, you left them up there at the house and you came down to a car show for a car show. And I drove y'all back after the car show. So I don't start off by saying I didn't hear that either. So y'all, and she seen a picture of him. I did not show her the picture, but that's besides the point. If I'm lying, I am fucking flying. She said, "Ooh, that's my type now." But that's my type now. If I'm lying, I am flying.
I'm sorry, I believe the little girl. I'm sorry, y'all. I believe the little girl, man.
I didn't hear that either.
Especially because the nigga probably the same age, a few years younger than her mama. Daughter posts old video claiming her 31-year-old boyfriend was in the car and there was no issue. Where was this energy? Same 31-year-old that dropped me off in Orlando to her before my birthday. Where was the energy then? Wasn't any because she knew she didn't want to get into it because it was going to mess up her plans on using me for viewers for that day. Oh, so the mama online too. Mind you, all them videos from that day paid about 5 racks.
Love you. Oh, here you go.
So the nigga was in a car and she doing all of this.
Yeah, period.
Mothers that value money more than anything. Like, or just value money more than actual morals and shit.
Let me see them got there. Let me see that money. Put the money there. Back it up a little bit. Back it up. Let me see.
I can't do perfect.
Get here in front of the car. Happy birthday, Leo. Oh.
Alleged text of mom saying she's not coming to the graduation. I'ma report him to the police. Bitch, you should have been did that. You should have been did that. She 18 now. From who? That's all his doing. The swap shop. Anthony had the idea first. Swap don't cost no arm and a leg for no shirt. You gonna try to tax us and give him the money. Okay, have Anthony do them then. If he going, I'm not coming at all. Okay, so this is the mama on this. I wanted because I was confused at first. So the mama is saying from who? That's all his doing. The girl said the swap shop. The mama said Anthony had the idea first. Swap don't cost no arm and a leg for no shirt. You gonna try to tax us and give him the money? The daughter says, okay, have Anthony to do them then. The mama says, if he's going, I'm not going at all. The daughter says, and he been mentioned shirts to me. The mama says, and if I don't have a shirt made from you and not him, I'm not going. I'm not coming. Girl, what the fuck shirts got to do with anything? To me, it looked like the lady was just looking for a reason to not go. So when you saying, if I don't have a shirt made from you and not him, I'm not coming to the graduation. If y'all don't see how petty and stupid that fucking is, how immature that is, I don't know nothing. I'm gonna report him to the police. I should have been dead. Yeah, you should have. I hate when you talk to think around him. I don't know whatever the fuck going on, but to me, I feel like at some point you chose some man. At some point, this woman, I believe, because you have 3 younger kids, right? You chose some man over these children. There's been some point where you done chose some nigga over these children. It's inevitable as far as I'm concerned. And when they grow up, they go looking for the man that they can choose over you. That's really what it is most of the time. That's what it is most of the time. Y'all should have seen, the way they sitting up there talking about they don't understand. Jealous of what? Jealous of what? Jealous of what? Jealous of being a victim? Girl, y'all don't know how much these women be jealous of their children sometimes. That little girl is cute as she want to be. Then you add social media into it, and you think that the 30-something-year-old that's been having children since she was her age is not going to have some envy or jealousy towards her daughter who doesn't have those same pitfalls, who now has social media to get money off of, but still falling into the same pitfalls because y'all still centering niggas above everything. Y'all teaching them little girls to center niggas above everything. That's why she go find a 31-year-old man in a Benz that's going to bring her somewhere where she got some quiet, not around all them fucking kids you kept having. Probably had her raising them kids too. Y'all, I just finished watching the last 2 seasons of Jenny in Georgia. Girl, y'all absolutely be out here not recognizing how you ruining these fucking kids. Being selfish, not recognizing that your children are gonna have to pay for your sins. They might reap the benefits of the sacrifices that you made, but they're going to also have to pay for the sins that you make, for the things that you don't learn, for the growing that you don't do. And so from there, I want to play y'all this clip. And this shit showed up right before I came up here.
You will be surprised how many women have mommy issues. Not the daddy issues, okay? It is the mommy issues, okay? The amount of women that are in my secret girls chat that are talking about their mom's hatred towards them.
First hater was their mom.
Their first hater was their.
How many fucking people are in the comments? Women and men alike telling me who she jealous of, what she jealous of. Like y'all ain't looking at them 2 people and seeing why the fuck that woman would be jealous of her daughter. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Her mother. It is crazy the amount of women that do not have a good relationship with their mom, battling for attention. They've been used as a pawn between the dad and, the marriage. They had to choose and decide, and it just.
Or their mothers see them as competition.
Oh, it's so many things. No shade. It's almost common practice for a Black woman to just know how to survive without her dad. We've been socialized to be the rich aunties. We've been socialized to be like,
oh, no, don't do that. This rich auntie had her daddy. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. I'm gonna let her finish, but because y'all always go back to acting like the absence of a man is the reason why we got here. No, that's usually not the case. It's the absence of self-esteem in the mother.
Oh, if you don't get a man, you'll be okay. Go get a degree, go make money, go travel the world, right? Like, and it's the same thing with like daddy shit, right? It's like we've just kind of learned how to post through it. But the women who have not had their moms,
that's a deep wound.
It's deeper than the daddy shit. You will be surprised.
It is deeper than the daddy shit because we get a lot of our nurturing from our mothers. And a lot of men just hold space. They don't actually take real part in the nurturing of the child and all of those things. And so I was watching Jenny in Georgia, right? I don't know if y'all have seen that show, but it's really, really good. And one of the themes that's prevalent in that show is the relationship between a mother and the daughter and how immature parents are, how they will be having these fights with their children to have dominance over their children, ignoring that their children are angry because of their emotions, because they're going through something. It's something you don't want to be honest about, something you want to ignore. Like, y'all got to watch that show, but it's really good. Once I sit down, I'll be able to put my thoughts together on this last season. But it was really, really, it was a good show. It was, girl. I binge watched it all day yesterday, which is the reason why I did not care to watch the BET Awards, because I was all into that. But it is definitely something to be said about these relationships with our mothers. And I'm gonna play one more. I'm gonna play one more that I saw, and this is from Jessie Wu. That's from Ticia, and Ticia used to be on Ready to Love back in the day. Okay, child, y'all seen how if the Ready to Love girls ain't gonna do nothing. They gonna turn this into they gonna turn this into something. Turn this into something. Okay. So here's another conversation.
That like daughters are often the manifestations of the parts of the mom that they couldn't be. Feel like I think they end up birthing the things that you suppress. And
I think that's so true. They're gonna go on, but that's the main thing. The main thing is you end up being the thing that your mother suppressed. And because my mother suppressed her voice so much, here I am. Like, it is what it is. That's some true shit. I'm gonna have to go watch this full episode of Jesse Woo's podcast. But it is definitely something to be said. The sound is low. I know. That's TikTok sometimes. I can't do nothing about it. That's why I'm not gonna let the whole thing play, and I'm just reiterating what she said. One more time.
I have an idea that like daughters are often the manifestations of the parts of the mom that they couldn't be. Feel like
daughters are the manifestations of the parts of themselves that they could not be. The daughters are a manifestation of whatever they suppressed. Which is why, like, me and my sister both, I feel like, fight for ourselves more than we felt our mom fought for herself. Like, the thing me and my sister have, like, we have definitely taken in so much of my mom's good qualities as far as being beautiful, being, stylish or graceful, or just having this, like, beauty that doesn't require a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? It's you take care of yourself, so then you take care of your beauty. Our mom taught us how to take care of our natural hair. We went to the dentist. We had, dermatologists. Like, we were raised to take care of our bodies in a way that preserves what is naturally there. That's a gift that our mom gave us, because me and my sister both are not like ones to get wrapped up in trends. Style-wise, we do not get wrapped up in trends. We gonna wear whatever hairstyle works for us. We don't give a fuck what the trend is. Now, my sister is like the trendy one, but more of a trendsetter than somebody that's hopping on other people's trends. If it don't work for her, she's not gonna do it. Me and my sister have that same energy in common, and I know that comes from my mom, because back in the day, my mom was a hairstylist, right? She still is, but she's retired. So she only do people hair sometimes. But for the most part, like, my mom was a banging, very busy hairstylist in the 90s and prior to Hurricane Katrina, so early 2000s. And in the 90s, hard hairstyles were all the rage. When my sister was growing up and in high school, my sister at some point I can remember was like, old hard hairstyles, because that's what everybody was wearing. Y'all, if you Black and you grew up around Black people, you know about hard hairstyles, girl. Okay, that's the rolls and the waterfall. The hair don't move. The hair doesn't have body. It just looks good. It's pretty, right? It's styled perfectly, but it doesn't move. My mama feels like silk, because my mama didn't have that type of hair. My mom had very fine, thin hair. So if she had done those things to her hair, it would have pulled all of her hair out. So because of that, my mom took the approach with her hair, being a hairdresser during that time, standing out was to be feels like silk, which is the hair had body, the hair moved, the hair was silky, right? So people will walk out of my mom's hair salon doing this shit, right? At a time when everybody's wearing hard ass hairstyles. Eventually, this becomes the thing, right? This becomes the thing for your hair to have like body and curls that swirl and do all of this shit like Farrah Fawcett, right? That's because my mom grew up in the 70s. So the style from the 70s, the style that she actually liked, she brought through in what she did. You can't tell me that my mama wasn't that girl, because in a time frame where she could have did what all of the other hairstylists were doing, she was like, "Oh no, baby, I don't do I don't do hard hairstyles." That used to be the thing, girl. You come in here, "Oh, I'm sorry, baby, I don't do hard hairstyles." Nah, this feels like silk. Okay, shout out to my motherfucking mama, baby. Okay. But I absolutely believe this to be true, that if you have a mother that does pour into you positively, you will pick up her positive things too. You will. But the things that she suppresses, you will pick those things up as well. Okay. So with that being said, girl, yes, come on with a feather. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So speaking of aesthetic, you guys, let's transition because speaking of transition, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you're gonna be mad at me because I'm on the trans girl side right now, I'm gonna need for y'all to go ahead and move around me because I'm about to have you who's a little upset when I tell y'all how the fuck you gonna sit across from somebody who you look just alike and say, "Oh, I don't want a man that's been with you." Oh, you don't? Then why you look like that, bitch? If you don't want a man that want me as a trans woman, why you look like a trans woman, Nene? I'm sorry. Let me hurt your fucking feelings.
Do you only know gay men?
Well, I don't date gay men.
Well, okay. Well, I you know when you guys be saying that, that's weird.
Why it's not? Let's explain it. Gay men like men who perform masculinity like a man, meaning whatever you can imagine as like physically, like, you know, body hair, muscles, masculine aesthetic. Masculine aesthetic. That's what we're talking about. Okay?
Why? Because what do you mean you don't date gay men? Because if he is sleeping with you and sleeping with a woman, he's something.
Well, he's not gay.
What is he?
He's definitely not gay.
He's bi?
Listen, because if a man come in here and he looks at me and you.
Yeah. What is he?
Well, he likes women.
Yeah, because he doesn't know.
Or if he does.
Girl, what? Girl, what? Because he doesn't know. That's irrelevant. And that's the thing y'all don't be understanding sometimes. That's irrelevant. Because from the black women's standpoint, you don't know who these niggas have been with. So what, like that whole argument, and I used to have this same argument like back in the day. You know, as bisexual, you would have this, oh, I don't want to compete. I don't want to compete with a man. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I don't need to compete with a man. I'm gonna outdo these niggas every time. For the women that I'm into, I'm gonna outdo these niggas every time. I don't have to. I don't have to compete. And then the other thing is that y'all forget that y'all are competing with somebody at all times if that's the way you think, because there's always another woman. There's always another woman. And back in the day, this was an okay way to think because of HIV and AIDS and the way they told y'all that sexually transmitted diseases were being given to y'all through gay relationships. Well, this is 2025. And what we've now come to understand is that is no longer the case. That is no longer the case. If you really are worried about somebody having a dirty dick before they put it inside of you, you should be worried about that anyway, no matter who they fucking. Because he could have stuck his dick in the ass of another woman and still had shit on it and put it inside your coochie. Does it make a difference for real?
Does know he likes women.
Okay.
The point is whether it's in the ass of a woman or the ass of a trans woman, shit is still going to cause you to have a UTI or some type of infection. Just so we're clear. Like your own shit is gonna make sure you have an infection, bitch.
So, but what is he?
Well, that would possibly, it's a possibility.
He's bisexual?
He could be bi or he could be pan.
Okay, what was pan? I forgot. That means you be whatever you like, whatever you like.
Hearts,
pan.
not hearts.
Right. So whatever you see you like, whatever I'm on, that's what I'm on today.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
You know, a lot of men are.
Yeah. Do you own?
A lot of men are. Yeah. A lot of men are pan, but they don't say anything. Like
I don't want to run into them. I don't want to date him.
Nene, if you.
What do you, girl? Do you know how disrespectful it is for a bitch to sit across from you and tell you? Yeah, I listen, I don't want to run into a man that wants you. But you look just like me, bitch. And you went through a whole bunch of surgery to look just like me. If you really, and that's the funny part, y'all. The funny part is watching the trans girls create this overly feminine aesthetic and that becoming the aesthetic for women. So now that women don't like, I don't look like that. I don't want to look like that. I don't want to wear a whole bunch of makeup and hot ass wigs. Like that's not my steep. But on some level, you're going to say that these women are more feminine than me because I don't want to perform my femininity in a certain manner. And there are so many women, actual coochie card holding women that will look at women like myself and feel like they're more feminine than I am because they're applying all of these very trans girl-like aesthetics to themselves. That, the irony of that is hilarious.
I need you to like
Nene,
if you've dated,
if you've dated men,
yes,
if you've dated men, there's a possibility in your life that
he's been with a man.
He's been with something.
What do you mean he's been with something?
He's been outside. I mean, here's the thing. I know that women consider trans women men because we were born male, but there's a difference between being man and male.
I get it. But you have your parts.
That's correct.
So he can love you and think you're so beautiful, and I want to sit with you.
There are men who deal with me that won't touch my parts. Anytime you see
But does he know it's there?
Yeah, he knows it's there. I'm not hiding it.
Everybody knows who T.S. Madison is, bitch. and that's another thing. Y'all got to stop thinking these niggas don't know. Y'all got to stop thinking that these niggas don't know. They know. They know. Girl.
You're not?
No.
I mean, that wouldn't make any sense.
I've had gentlemen to tell me. A lot of men are a lot of men. Well, I've had gentlemen to tell me, "Hey, put a pillow over that," and I'm like, "Well, you're not the nigga for me. You don't have to touch it and deal with it. But I'm not hiding shit from you."
So, okay, wait a minute. We got
and this is what you have to understand. They want to fuck this person, but because of how y'all feel about them being attracted to this person, that's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about their actual physical attraction. They're thinking about how everybody else is going to feel about their attraction. And that's the fucking problem. That's the problem. Because it then makes you feel like you're so much better, right? You're so much better because you have a real coochie card. And in real life, the men don't feel that way. So why do you? The men really don't feel that way. You see how many of y'all favorite stars will come out and they was in a car with a trans girl. They was fucking a trans girl. Like, it's because they're attracted to a certain aesthetic. And it's aesthetic that a lot of the coochie card carrying women have adopted. That's why it's so weird for y'all to be so transphobic, because you want to look like trans girls. And then you get mad when somebody puts you in the same category with the trans women. Girl, what? It's all a hierarchy thing. It's also you could feel like you better than somebody.
Go back and figure this.
And it's based on a lie that a nigga told you. That's another thing. Everything coming out of Nene's mouth is like, girl. Girl.
Yeah.
So the man.
Now we talking.
Yeah, so the man gonna be sleeping with me and you. I don't want to talk to him no more.
You don't?
No.
Yeah,
because see, he's not telling me the truth. 9 times out of 10, like
what does he need? Okay, so he's not telling you the truth. Okay. So here's the thing for everybody. And I get it, y'all, but as I'm awakening, girl, as I'm getting older and I'm becoming more aware, girl, because that's what's happening with me right now, you start to understand that this is stupid. This is essentially stupid, right? Are you going to tell me that you feel like the dick is what makes it gross? So you want dick just as long as that dick has not had or is not attracted to other dick, even though you're attracted to dick. Okay. Now listen to me, y'all. I don't care what your preferences are, but often y'all mask preferences with phobia. And I've experienced this specifically as a bisexual person. The way the biphobia works is women arguing with me about negative experiences they've had with male-centered women as if I'm that same woman just because I'm bisexual. That is aggravating as fuck. And it also makes me look at a lot of the girls like, okay, well, I don't want to be around y'all either. Like, I don't want to be around y'all either. The gay girls don't always feel safe for me either, to be very clear.
Well, the guy seemed like he would come and tell me that he's bisexual. So what if he never told me? Isn't he lying to me? You said they wake up and lie.
Girl, okay. Did you care when he lied when he was cheating with another woman? The only reason him cheating with a man would have made you more worried is because back in the day, y'all were made to feel like HIV and AIDS was happening because of gayness. That was not true. That wasn't true back then, and it's not true now. This was not something created because two penises touched and magically HIV was created. No, this was something that was actually like scientifically implanted in people. And it just so happened that because men innately are whores, like, I'm sorry, gay men, but y'all know y'all some hoes. Like, don't even be in no comments arguing with me because y'all know I don't give a fuck. Gay men are whores, meaning that they don't have the same fear about having sex that women do. So a sexually transmitted disease would probably pop up between two men because two men don't have to stop the way a man does with a woman. Women have been taught to like, hold up now. But the way two men who have never met each other before will fuck in a public bathroom because they just needed to touch some dick, girl. That's the reason why. And also, I feel like it was purposefully like y'all are, homophobic. So you're going to pick the people that you feel like nobody care about to test your sickness out on. If y'all were out here arguing with everybody about COVID vaccines, I also need for y'all to come up off how the homophobia makes y'all feel about like gay men. Like I need for because if you could see how it was all a conspiracy when it comes to COVID vaccinations, but it's not a conspiracy when it came to making y'all think that gay people were giving everybody HIV.
They do.
So he woke up and lied.
But how can we make men comfortable to even say that they find other things outside of
I don't know, but I feel like he should
societal-
tell me what he likes.
But here's the thing. You might demonize him for telling.
I won't. I just probably won't be with him.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, then. In a system where men are being taught to lie to get access to women, that is literally what's happening here. That's literally what's happening here. And you're entitled to not want to fuck with somebody. Please don't misunderstand me. But the fact that you are sitting across from T.S. Madison, who you went and got surgery to look like, all for you to tell her that I don't want to sleep with a man that slept with you. It just seems so fucked up to me. And I feel like T.S. Madison really did her big one in sitting down and having this very ignorant conversation with this woman, and ignorant on Nene's part, not on T.S. Madison's part, because T.S. Madison is showing all of this like grace and understanding for how ignorant she sounds. But who would not feel offended? If I'm T.S. Madison, I feel offended that you want to look like me, but you don't want to share dick with me, even though you sharing dick with me anyway. You sharing dick with me anyway, no matter what you believe, because you can't control what other people do before and after you. You don't have to agree. I'll blow you out. Listen, I can blow your mind all day, bitch. But if you're not getting what I'm putting down, it's because the veil hasn't been lifted yet. If the veil is ever to be lifted for you, come back. If this is upsetting you, leave. If my commentary on this subject matter is upsetting you and making you feel uncomfortable, just leave, girl. There's the door. Leave. Get the And I don't mean it like that, because the door is open. I'm not going to block you or nothing. The door is open because I feel like, just like myself, there were times when I really just did not understand. I am living in a binary, bitch. Dick, man, coochie, woman. I'm living in a binary, bitch. Ain't no gray in this shit. But now I see it. Now I see that it's bullshit. That in essence, what are you exactly worried about? What I want you to ask yourself, what if HIV and AIDS is not what you are worried about? What are you worried about as it pertains to finding out that you and T.S. Madison might have shared dick at some point? Meaning that a man that likes you also like T.S. Madison. What I want you to like actually ask yourself how what does it matter? What does it matter right now? Chromosomes matter. Chromosomes do matter to science. But in this conversation, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Just ask yourself why it matters to you. Why does it matter to you? Because at the end of the day, if we go 100 years in the future, and somebody digs up a body and it's a trans person, when they test their bones, it will still show if they're either male or female. See, y'all are arguing about chromosomes, and T.S. Madison is not saying that I'm not male. T.S. Madison is not saying I'm not male. T.S. Madison is saying I am a woman because of the way I'm performing my identity. The way I want my identity to look, I want it to look like a woman. I don't want to be a man in this society. I don't jive with that shit. I can't get jiggy with that shit. I want to look like this. I'm still male, but I want to look like this. And I think the fact that y'all don't get that, it keeps y'all in this box where y'all think these niggas are actually out here with these same, like, girl, once you realize that the men that are so worried about this are actually the niggas that want this, that's when you got to start to like unwrap your mind from why it makes you feel so uncomfortable. Because one of the first signs that something is wrong with a nigga is how transphobic or homophobic he is. That's usually going to tell me so much about the nigga that I need to know. Like, that's going to tell me a lot. But when it comes to these interpersonal relationships, like, what do you think is saving you? Like, oh, I'm only with straight men. Okay. And what does that mean for you? Because women that are with straight men will still end up getting STDs, will still end up getting cheated on. So what exactly are you trying to protect yourself from? If not just from allowing someone else to take up space in a similar identity, and you just don't want that to happen because you feel like that erases you. And I want you to know, as I've said before, if you are a card carrying coochie person, you can't be erased, bitch. Nobody gets here without us. You can't be erased, babe. No matter what these men make you think, you cannot be erased, ma'am. They can't be here without us. Whether they are trans or not, everybody comes through some woman's coochie card. You can't be erased, y'all. You can't. You can be female and be a woman, but you can also be female and be a man because society identifies it in a certain way. That's why y'all tell people that they not a man if they too feminine, right? Right? You tell a man that's naturally feminine, that's not what a real man is. So they go and become the woman that you keep telling them that they are. And then everybody's so confused about how we got here with the difference between sex and gender. It's because y'all have decided that to have a penis means I have to show up like this. And that's not real for everybody. It's not real for everybody. It's just not.
Right. And then men risk, they risk losing that. You know, there's some, well, I've had gentlemen to tell me, hey, they risk losing that. You know, there's some men that have experiences, just like there are women that have had an experience.
Well, why he can't do to me the same thing he doing to you?
Because I don't have a pussy.
But that's...
I'm so confused.
Well, okay, you're right.
What do you?
I forgot. Okay.
I don't have a pussy.
But he's coming over there looking at your beautiful hair and makeup. Well, he can't come over my house and see mine.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on?
What's the difference? Exactly, bitch. What is the difference?
Oh shit.
Why the hell you going to sleep with me then going to sleep with you?
Because he likes to sleep with different people, baby. Like they all do. Because he doesn't want to be just with you. He wants to experience all of the flavors of the goddamn rainbow, bitch.
But men like variety.
Oh, please. I don't want him.
He wants to taste all the colors of the wind.
What?
To me, if you are attracted to a man without this information, if you're attracted to him and you're also protecting yourself, meaning that you're assuming that you can't trust somebody. Like, I think you should always assume you can't trust people, right? So why would y'all go around just assuming that you can trust that a nigga is straight because he told you so? If he gonna lie, why do you need to be told? If he's gonna lie. Yes, we have a really bad habit of adopting racist mindsets and concepts when other sub-minorities come into play. Yes, we absolutely do. We absolutely do. So let me show y'all another content creator who I really have come to like. And Dominique Morgan on TikTok. I want y'all to listen to what Dominique said. I'm only gonna play a portion of it. Dominique be going in, girl. Okay.
Yes, the people who are going to misconstrue things.
Hold up. Let me go to the actual video so I can speed it up for y'all. And it usually be a little louder over here. I'm gonna turn my mic off so y'all can hear it. Y'all turn y'all volume up as much as y'all can, okay? Because I can't do much else for y'all.
To add a bit more nuance. Yes, the people who are going to misconstrue things are going to misconstrue things, but when we can add context, it's not bad too. In this conversation of featureism and surgery, specifically again, surgery, I'm talking about a look and aesthetic that was created by choice. And interestingly, historically, when it is biological women, they're not getting all of the services at once. Usually when it's a trans woman, facial femme is nose, jaw, like it's all coming together at once, right? So there's the body conversation, which is when you look at BBLs, when you look at shape, when you look at a lot of these things, again, I'm not going to, those reasons, just go and look at Black femme queens in the 90s and look how girls are shaped today, okay? Can we talk about aesthetics and not biology? Biology, the girls have won that. You can't.
And then for me, y'all, I know, for me, I can't tell y'all how many times people will describe my aesthetic as a 90s aesthetic simply because I don't overdo anything on myself. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. It's too fucking hot. Like, it's too hot. Like in New Orleans, I don't know why everybody thinks that there are other places hotter than New Orleans. I don't know where y'all get that from. I mean, in this country, I mean, to me, there is nowhere in this country that's hotter than New Orleans. And I'm talking about humidity included, like the moisture in the air that makes you feel like you're in a fucking sauna when you walk outside. Everything's steaming up. The hair is going to curl back up. Like, that's why we had to have perms and all of that shit. But people will call my aesthetic a 90s aesthetic simply because I don't do too much to myself. And I'm just saying, I've noticed that. So this is true when it comes to how we're describing the aesthetic of what is more natural versus the aesthetic that is now popping, where we can't find you hoes without a wig on.
You can't disagree with that. Let's sit that there. Boom. White flag. The white flag has been shaken. We're talking about aesthetics. We're talking about aesthetics that you are choosing. Because I do often see Black women on this app who are visibly had no surgeries, are visibly looking the way that they have looked because that's just how it was. And they are navigating people assuming they're trans. That's a conversation I would love to have on another day and to be able to.
Right. Women that are not adopting a trans aesthetic, looking more natural, now being seen as more masculine because they're not performing femininity through a male gaze. And that's another thing. The trans girl's depiction of femininity is through a male gaze because, as y'all say, they are male, but they're also growing up as young males in a society that already has all of these rules and narratives put in place. So the way they view their own femininity is through the gaze of men. The way we view our femininity and our beauty is through the gaze of men. So I don't know why y'all think is that, oh, y'all so different from the trans girls. Are you? Are you?
Bring some nuance into that, but that's one conversation. I'm talking about you went in and you said, I want the nose, I want the jaw, I want the hairline moved down, I want the things. This is the look I want to give in my own choice and autonomy. And I'm gonna post some pictures throughout this conversation to give you an example. And for me, this isn't about disrespecting or dishonoring any Black woman. And I also added pictures of white women and women of color of various shades because I see it throughout. It is, I think, interesting to have trans women around you, specifically Black trans women that look a specific way, and then you curate a aesthetic that echoes that aesthetic, and in the depth of your soul, your biggest concern, your biggest fear is not being with a man who is attracted to trans women and to avoid that. That's the conversation.
Because a lot of the times what consumes you will destroy you in some ways. Right? I think there's something to be said about, oh, I'm a woman, so I'm gonna do all of this so that I can look more feminine. You end up looking more like a trans girl, which is a male's version of how to perform femininity. You're now performing your femininity as a female through the gaze of how a male sees it. I saw somebody in the comments saying something about wigs. I don't care about nobody wearing wigs, y'all. That's irrelevant. It's about the aesthetic. What I am saying to you is I've noticed how people are wearing certain styles and shit like that now that we were not wearing back in the day. That's the only point that is being made. If it's cool enough for you to wear a wig where you live, that's great, bitch. I don't give a fuck. That's not the point. Stop focusing on shit that I'm not saying because you want to disagree with me. It's weird. Nobody cares about the wigs. We're talking about the aesthetic overall. Take a step back. Look at the picture.
Right? It's not saying that people shouldn't feel that way. It's not saying that those desires are wrong. It's not saying that biological women want to be trans women. None of the things that people are throwing out here. What I'm saying is that, can we have a conversation based in, again, everybody want to talk biology and fact and all these other things, but when we get into some other conversations, there's no room for this talk. You can look at femme queens in ballroom. There's a reason that many trans women were passing for generations, right? Because of these surgeries. And there's a technique that evolved into the current climate we see. Can we not act like that biological women have been getting BBL since the beginning of time? That's not the case. Can we not talk about, we got to talk about.
Right. Even BBLs are something that y'all took from what the trans girls had to do in order to look more feminine. That's another thing. Like filler, butt shots, the hips, y'all doing all of this extra contouring, the contour that y'all do to y'all cheeks and your nose, all of that is trans girl makeup. Like it's the way the trans girls had to do their makeup to hide a 5 o'clock shadow and to create softness to their face. It's so funny to me how like a lot of y'all may not have been paying attention or you weren't alive for how this transitioned through time. But this aesthetic that y'all see on all of y'all favorite IG models and all of that, the baddies look, girl, that's a trans girl aesthetic if I've ever seen it. Like always wearing always wearing extensions or fake hair, always having on a pound of makeup, contouring for dear God, surgeries that make shit look bigger and all of that. And it is because you now feel like what is really feminine is based on what you're seeing in the media. And what you're seeing in the media is based off of what the trans girls were doing in the 80s and the 90s and the shit that y'all did not know about because a lot of y'all weren't in ballroom culture. It just so happens that I was actually born into ballroom culture by accident. Back in the day, they used to do showcases where the parents will come to Xavier Prep and perform. And I will never forget Paris. And I'm gonna tell y'all, if my voice travels all over the world, if anybody out there ever clocks who I'm talking about, and y'all could tell Paris, if Paris is still alive, that me watching her perform as a child has never left me. And I really want to go and see if I can find that VHS tape. Paris was a trans girl back in the early 90s that was in the community with my family and the school that the girls went to. My cousins went to prep, and Paris would come and perform at the shows and do different performances. And Paris's wig was up, and it wasn't a wig. This was Paris's natural hair. And it's because my mom was backstage. My mom was dancing and performing. And my mom was always like, oh, Paris is so beautiful, the hair. And Paris was back there sewing her own dresses. That's why I loved Pose so much, because it showed me something that I had only kind of gotten a glimpse of as a child, but that I was thoroughly affected by. I will never forget arguing with my cousin, my favorite cousin. I remember arguing with him. That's a woman. I don't care what you. I cry. He'll laugh about it to this day because we will argue because he's a little bit older. So he, of course, heard the adult saying that Paris was a man. And I said, that's not a man. Paris is a woman. Paris is a woman. One of my first fucking memories, okay, is me arguing with my cousin about the fact that Paris was a woman, bitch. And it is because the way Paris performed, I could not see it any other way. I just couldn't see it any other way. even after they had said all of that, I was like, child, Paris still a woman as far as I'm concerned. Paris is still a woman. Okay. And I don't think it was Paris from Paris is Burning, because I don't know if Paris made it to was in New York at that time, because we were in New Orleans. But Paris was that girl. And I watched the tapes of her perform from that talent show over and over and over and over and over again as a child. So because I had that experience, y'all, I feel like I was always going to end up getting to this place of realization. And you know what I'm saying? Like wanting to be a safe space. Right. Right. Cause we're not talking about that. I think, a lot of girls adopted some of the same names back in the day. Right. Cause it's the aesthetic. But the Paris I'm talking about was a trans girl performer in New Orleans in the 90s. So if anybody knows about that Paris, and I believe that lady, the child, I don't know if that lady's still alive. Okay. But please tell Paris that a little girl saw her one day and never forgot her. Okay. I'm gonna let Dominique finish. But Paris's aesthetic was a lot like my mom's. Paris aesthetic was very much my hair is moving. You know what I'm saying, child? Paris performed Black Butterfly by Denise Williams at the end. I will never forget it. Lip singing for her fucking life. And she lifts the dress up. And the dress she had sewn in all of these beautiful, colorful patches, so that when she raised it up at the moment when, Black Butterfly, the big, note at the end, you would see it. Like it's giving me chills right now, because it had that effect on me back then, that I was just like, like in awe. There were a whole bunch of people performing that night, but nobody outperformed Paris. Paris was in at least 2 or 3 performances that night. Okay. So like, that's another reason why I have heart for people, because I remember how I experienced them, and I don't let hate dictate how I treat people. Some of y'all need to do better.
Like the progression in filler starts with silicone in faces to feminize them. Black trans women died in those journeys, right? That's a part. These features, whether you want to acknowledge them or not, or maybe it doesn't feel good to say that, many of these features are associated with the Black trans femme experience and culture. When Black trans girls transition, depending on where you're at, depending on the Black trans women around you, it's like, okay, when you gonna get your nose done? When you gonna get your facial hair femme? When you gonna get your femme queen look? That is a certain stamp. And now it's a stamp I see on most women who are surged. There was a video, I forget the rapper's name, but he was outside and it was like 6, what I believe to be biological women. I was like, I couldn't tell if they were the girls or not. Because when I'm walking past you, I can't look in your drawers. When I'm walking past you, I don't know if you have a uterus or not. So men are looking at folks and they are making decisions, and they may know that you are a biological woman. But again, I feel like features and things that people are attracted to run across the gamut. And so my statement I'm making is, if you don't desire a man who could be attracted to a T.S. Madison to be attracted to you, I think it's an interesting choice to engage in elective surgeries to manifest an aesthetic that when you're sitting next to T.S. Madison visually, y'all don't look that much different to me in the face.
Look at the screen, everybody. This is what the fuck we talking about. This is what we talking about. Shout out to Dominique Morgan for this video. I believe she was actually just in New Orleans, because y'all know it's Pride Month. It's too fucking hot, y'all. I'll be going to one Pride event that I got a ticket for, because it's at night. Starts at 10 p.m., bitch. The boots on the ground down to the culture park. Gay girls, I'll be there. Okay. Gay people, I will be there, okay, for that one Pride event. But I'm not coming outside during the day. I'm sorry. Unless there's a pool involved, I am not coming outside during the day. It's too motherfucking hot. Okay. But look at this picture, y'all. Look at this picture. And you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of how women, when they are in their natural state, are being told that they're not good enough, they're not beautiful, that they're masculine, that they're not feminine because they have the nose or the cheekbones or the facial features that they have as actual born females. They're not womanly enough. And so you go and turn yourself into a trans girl version of yourself. And because you have a coochie, you think you are better than T.S. Madison, who has gone through some of the same surgeries and did some of the same, procedures to look the same way. Like, girl. And then you get mad when a man looks at the both of y'all and says, I want both of y'all. Are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to be fucking for real at this point. And being fucking for real is realizing if you're really worrying about a man having a dirty dick because he might like men, then you should be worrying about him having a dirty dick anyway, because these niggas will stick their dicks in anything. And you should assume it's a man. And you should also see something problematic when they overperform masculinity. And that's because they're trying to hide something. Because at base level, we are both. At base level, women and men both have masculine and feminine traits. It is the performance of masculinity. It is the performance of femininity that makes you feel like a woman is this and a man is that. That is the reason why there's a difference between male and female and woman and man. That's why there's a difference. Not because of what's actually underneath, but because somebody told you that even with all of your coochiness, even with all of your pussiness, even with all of your juiciness, you wasn't feminine enough, right? You're not fit, friendly, light skin, small nose. You're not feminine enough, right? But you got a pussy. So how somebody gonna tell you you not feminine enough because of this outside shit when you have a pussy, right? It doesn't make any sense. But look what they do. You go and turn yourself into something other than how you were at the beginning, looking more like a trans girl and still feeling like, oh no, I don't want no man that wants you. Girl. You got to ask yourself these questions. If you're not really jealous of the trans girls, if you're not really worried about it, why are you this upset? Why are you this upset? I'm me, bitch. I'm me. I walk around every day, Brittany. I'm me. I'ma attract who I'ma attract. I'ma repel who I'ma repel. And that's normally the best thing for me, bitch. That's normally the best thing for me is for me to show up the way I do, because it makes it harder for weird ass people to get close to me. What you looking at? What you looking at? I ain't smiling. Fuck away from me. She look like a white woman, not a trans. You're not being fucking for real with yourself if that's what you think. Like you're not. I feel like y'all have been looking at the trans girl aesthetic so long that y'all can't see it. Like that's another reason why sometimes what people don't understand, it's because they're so in it, they don't understand it. Like, you know how if you're really close to something, you can't see it clearly. Y'all can't see that Nene and Tamar and a lot of the other girls are giving you a trans girl aesthetic because you've only seen the trans girl aesthetic. So you don't even really recognize how it's different from how it was before. Okay? This is not, we was not, actually as Black women, it was a point of pride to not have to do all of this work to yourself. Now, as a Black woman, it's like you have to do all of this work to yourself or you're not beautiful. Cue Tisha Campbell telling y'all how even though she was the it girl in the 90s, she still has to find a way to make herself smaller so she could feel beautiful about who she is. Come on now, y'all. I really feel like I'm drawing the dots together. So if you ain't hearing me, it's because you're not ready to hear me. Come back when you are. Come back when you are. Yes, these things come from mainstream media, but it doesn't have to come from mainstream media. It comes from colorism. It comes from your family members telling you what's attractive. And that comes from slavery. Everything comes from something. At some point, it's irrelevant where it comes from. Let's deal with the positive and negatives of it. Let's deal with the realness of it. Let's deal with the facts of the situation, like everybody be wanting to do all the damn time. And the facts of the situation is our culture on this planet has developed a model for what woman is and what man is. And every day, y'all are bullying children into fitting into these molds that they don't naturally fit into. Girl, I just re-uploaded on Bondi Blue Bites the video of Funny Mike reprimanding his little boy because he was playing with an iPad that had a purple cover over it. It's a girl toy because it has a purple cover over it. Like men don't like purple or something. Like the LA Lakers, colors aren't purple. Like LSU's colors aren't purple. The fuck? His daddy has to scare him. His little sister is going to blackmail him because he has to be masculine. He has to be, that's for little girls. That's not for little boys. How about you just let him play with whatever the fuck he want to play with and figure out whether he wants to be a man or a woman later. But that's not y'all mindset, right? Your mindset is to bully the kids into being what your idea of these social things are. The little boy got a penis no matter what. But you're going to still feel like him playing with a toy is going to turn him into the worst thing he can ever be, and that's a girl. Also, black women specifically, that's my crowd. Y'all are the ones who I talk to. I need y'all to start loving yourselves more because y'all don't realize your hatred is a reflection somewhere of how you feel about you. When it comes to the trans girls, y'all hate the trans girls because they're a reminder that even though you have a coochie, people will still tell you you're not feminine enough. And then somebody without a coochie can go and do all of this outside fake shit and they will get more appreciation for their beauty as a woman than you will. That's what you're upset about. That's what you're really upset about. Because I'm going to be real with you. As much as I walk around with both my masculine and feminine energy, baby, it's always femme. I'm always femme, babe. I'm always femme. I love being a woman. I love being female. I love both. And I love me. And I can only have appreciation for another person that decides to stand up and be their version of themselves, no matter how everybody's being bullied their entire life to be something else. I could never feel threatened. I could never feel threatened. And y'all say that, but then y'all act threatened. Like, why are you mad if you're not threatened? If you're not threatened, then let people be who they are and just go on about your way, bitch. The fuck? I want the trans girls to do whatever they want to do because at the end of the day, girl, I want to do whatever I want to do and I'm still going to be this. I'm still going to be this. The fuck? And if you're doing any type of feminine performance, then yeah, we're going to be similar. We're both performing femininity. The fuck? Oh, girl, y'all be stressing yourselves out, I feel. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with more because I got more of this shit. So I hope if you was mad, you came back because we about to change the topic.
Anywhere you go, give it on. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
right, y'all. So I want to talk about straw. We didn't talk about straw, right? Comment in the chat. We didn't talk about straw, did we? I might have touched on it lightly, but let me know if I actually talked about it before, because I do want to get into some other shit. I'm looking for. Did we talk about straw, y'all? No, we didn't. Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Got it. All right, we're gonna play this clip from Tyler Perry, and then we're gonna get into it.
I say nothing to those people who think that my films focus on the struggle of Black women, because they're right. It does. I'm in doing this. Let me tell you something. If I get an opportunity to put a Black woman on screen for people to see them in love and happy, in joy, in pain, in struggle, what I'm doing is a service to all people, so that people will know that Black women are not just strong and one thing. They are all things, and they go through all of these different things. So to have an opportunity to be able to paint all of these pictures and all sides of it is something that I'm paying homage to my mother, to my aunt, to my sisters and friends and cousins, and the things that they all went through. So that's what I would say to that. And I say nothing to those people who think that my films focus on the struggle of Black women.
Okay, so that's it. I guess I haven't actually seen the movie. That's what I want y'all to chill, because like bitch, I didn't watch it. I don't want to. I asked people, I know they were it was so good. It was good as fuck. Everybody felt like it was really good. It was really emotional. The performances were really good. I heard y'all. And I still feel like I'm straight. Cause every time, let me tell y'all something. Tyler Perry reminds me of how I used to feel about my dad, where I would want to stay mad at him because I would keep giving him chances and he would keep doing shit that I feel like was disrespectful or hurtful to me. And then every time, I would have to forgive him. Like I don't want to. And so that's how I feel about Tyler Perry and his movies. Like, I'm gonna watch some of the shit, but I'm not gonna watch all of it. And that's because you're not about to make me go through trauma porn just so I can be a part of the conversation. Fuck the conversation. I'm protecting my peace. If it's sad from beginning to middle to end, I don't give a fuck about how good Tiana Taylor look, even though y'all know I love me some Tiana Taylor. I didn't like John Q. So no, I don't want to watch the movie about the person whose child is on the brink of death because we live in a capitalist society that doesn't give a fuck about anybody. Before I even really delved into the TikTokers and watching other people's reviews of the movie, because I don't want to watch it, I had already determined a movie like that is only trying to teach you two lessons, right? One lesson is that empathy. Have empathy for people because people be struggling. I don't need a Tyler Perry movie to teach me to have empathy, so that I don't need to watch it for that reason. Boom. Then you got the last reason, which is not the middle finger, bitch. Okay? Which is that, don't fall victim to poverty. Meaning, don't be a single mother taking care of children you can't afford to have. Don't be that. Because you'll end up in a situation where you can't afford not a motherfucking thing. My critique of Tyler Perry is not just about the trauma porn that he enjoys. Everybody likes their different forms of trauma porn, okay? And that's, y'all, everybody likes their different form of degenerate media. That's their business. You know what I'm saying? That keeps you kind of in a lower level of your energy, right? Lower level meaning like, guttural sex or violence, like things that are down below. Okay. We like a lot of shit that keeps us in that space or reminds us of that. So I'm not judging from that standpoint. I'm judging from the fact that I feel like Tyler Perry is writing shit from the 90s in the early 2000s. Okay. It's giving representing for the 99 in the 2000s. Because who doesn't have direct deposit? And another thing, we're in 2025, meaning that women's understanding of their sexuality has changed. I'm going to tell y'all right now. It is crazy to me that we're still telling stories about women that are willing to be this down in the dumps degenerate because they want to have a Florida Evans mindset about sexuality, right? Because Florida Evans is like, she's in the hood, but she has this high moral compass that low-key keeps her family in the hood longer because she just refused to, take advantage at the moments where things were presented to her, right? the internet presents, I have a pretty face or a nice body, or just period. There are men out here that are turned on by anything. Anything. Men are out here being turned on by anything. Why would I struggle, have my child be needing medication and can't afford to pay for it if there is OnlyFans and online access to me selling coochie? I don't understand. The reason why I would not sell coochie when I was growing up is because there was no real safe space to do it. You had to be, you had to be somewhere where you could possibly be assaulted. That's why most of us don't sell coochie, not because we wanted to work hard and prove something to somebody, but usually because it's not safe. It's not safe. I don't want no weird person that I ain't never met before on my body. That's disgusting. Ugh, nigga, get off me. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go get it another way. I'd rather go work my ass off and be tired than have some nasty ass man climbing on top of me to do his business. But in 2025, all a bitch got to do is create a account on OnlyFans. Create a Twitter account. Watch some corn. Get some ideas. Master, maybe do some foot shit. Okay? And put that up there and make that little money that you need to make. Now, am I saying that that doesn't also put young women at a disadvantage with the way y'all like to judge women for using their sexuality for their own benefit? Because y'all don't have a problem when pimps do it. Y'all love pimps. Y'all love pimps, right? Y'all don't have a problem when pimps are using women's bodies to make money. That's cool. But when a woman decides to use her body to make money, she's a whore. And she wrong for that. And all of this other bullshit y'all come up with. But when I tell y'all, if my child is in a hospital and can't pay for medication and all of this other shit, if I can't pay for where I stay, bitch, if I don't have $40 at 30 something years old, I would happily sell coochie through the internet. And I don't mean you actually get to touch it, meaning you can pay me to see it. Yeah. Because my need to not, come off like a hoe is going to take a back seat to my immediate needs, right? And now that the safety aspect, now I'm much safer than I was in the 90s or the early 2000s doing shit like that. I'm way safer now because I can do it at my house. I can do it through the internet. And they can just drop money on me and I ain't got to do none of this shit. And let's just take OnlyFans off the table. If a bitch life is this terrible in 2025, all she got to do is get on TikTok and do a couple of story times about how ain't shit her life has been. And then she could make some coinage off of her terrible fucking story. You see what I'm saying? Like, there are other ways nowadays to tell these stories. But Tyler Perry is stuck in the 99 and the 2000. And I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back there with you, man. I just don't. I'm not interested. Other people can take that walk. Y'all, a long time ago, I stopped watching shit that makes me feel bad. Like, things that are going to make me feel bad as a woman or a black person. Like, it depends. That's why I would prefer to watch white content, because I don't have to be emotionally enmeshed in the same manner. I can watch white people tell their stories and be emotionally involved without the same dread that comes when y'all assign blackness to the project, right? Because when you assign blackness to the project, now we dealing with squalor that most people are not dealing with, right? Because y'all are going to act like most black people are dealing with that level of squalor. And I just kind of feel like, but that's not what we're seeing on television and movies. What we're seeing on television and movies and in reality shows is that people are doing better on a general scale. So seeing a story like Taraji's is, you're showing us the downtrodden. You're showing us the worst of the worst experience. A lot of us don't want to go through that. But what? Girl, I to me, I've already escaped poverty. Okay. My parents did that for me. My parents, actually, I low key, yeah, no, it was my parents. My parents escaped poverty for me. And the decisions I've made, I've continued to somewhat escape. Now, listen, please don't sound, grateful, bitch, grateful, lucky, blessed. Don't get me wrong now. But the time where I go and have a baby I can't financially take care of, that time in my life has passed. That's not a story that can happen to me now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not that's a lesson I don't have to learn anymore. And again, I don't have to learn a lesson about empathy because I have empathy. I have empathy for people. So I don't need to put myself through that in order to get the point, you said you refuse to watch TVs and movies that are constantly about black slave and struggle that's going to depress you. I took on that same yeah, I've been stopped doing that because in my childhood I saw enough of it. I watched all of the movies in my childhood. I got it, girl. I got it. I know how white people are. I know what they do. Then I can go on the news and watch it in real time. I got it. I don't need any further education on the matter. I got it. Racist white people hate us no matter what. Will they'll want to hurt us even if it makes them look bad because they hate us so much. We got it, babe. We could see that right now in the state of events in this country. We can see that. That's why I don't need to watch Tyler Perry to know about black women's struggle, because I can watch Megan Thee Stallion be a megastar, college educated, and y'all deduce her down to being a whore who is lying on a man. I can watch Halle Bailey become a Disney princess, which is still something so incredible to accomplish in 2025 when there's only one other black Disney princess. And then all the racism that she had to deal with, how beautiful her voice is, how talented she is. Like, I could watch her have all of those positives and then watch y'all get online and call her an abuser and drag her down because of the man she decided to fake fall in love with. Because, girl, I can get online right now and watch some of the best examples of black women being traumatized on the internet. I don't need to watch Taraji having a 99 and 2000 poor person's experience, because I can watch the rich women having a similar experience. Which should tell me, you know what that teaches me? That it don't matter whether you got money or you don't have money. People ain't shit. Girl, I already know. Okay. Child, that was one of the things on Jenny in Georgia. One of the themes on Jenny in Georgia that I peeped and I posted on TikTok about it was Max and Marcus, the two white kids, the twins. The Marcus is going, like, he's obviously like depressed, but like, as some type of issue. I don't know if they ever said if it was bipolarism or what, but he's somebody that's drinking to cope with his depression. His sister is overperforming and trying to be friends with everybody, trying to show up for everybody, trying to be the best student, trying to be the best singer, trying to be the best actress. And she's doing those things, but they're a response to her depression. He's just ruining his life as a response to his depression. But everybody has more sympathy for him than they have for her, because they're not viewing their depression the same way, because girls are taught to turn your bad feelings into something that can either uplift other people or something you can profit off of. That's how women are taught how to deal with their negative feelings. They don't get the same empathy, not even from their fucking friends. But let the boy be going through depression, crashing out, destroying shit, being drunk, getting left back. And everybody's like, oh my God, I don't want life to be harder for him. Oh my God. So from the black shit to the white shit, I'm watching y'all treat girls, women, femmes, females, whatever, treat them one way, treat the males, men, another way. You're not worried about them in the same, like, you're not going to give them the same amount of aggression and anger. Child, even the way y'all ignore trans men's existence as a way of child, we ain't that mad at them because you know they the they the females that became men. So we ain't as mad at them as we are about the males that become females, because what we really don't like is the femininity. Because we're being taught to hate the femininity. So everything we do showcases that in one way or another. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to bring it all the way around for y'all, because y'all know Black people, y'all like to think we live in a vacuum or something like that. Y'all like to think that everything that's happening to us is not also happening to other people in other ways. It is. It absolutely is. That should help you stop victimizing yourself and internalizing that you're not good enough because you're Black, once you realize that everybody is having a certain fucked up experience. It may not be as fucked up as yours, but why are we competing for who's having the most fucked up experience? We just need y'all to fix the issues, fix the problems. Don't just keep complaining about it so we can have, you know, the oppression Olympics. Let's go here.
Well, too, like, people were upset when you talked about Meg Thee Stallion on the carpet and her being, you know, nude or whatever you called her, right? And people respond to that. And when that happens,
and I was for that, when I said that about Meg, I was ready for the backlash. But I'm a mother, I'm a woman, I mentor girls, and I just go, at some point we have a responsibility. We have to speak up. And I love
not a responsibility to speak up about the way the young girls are being harmed. You don't want to speak up about the way we're framing Megan Thee Stallion shooting. You don't want to speak up about that. You don't want to speak up about how we don't believe Black women when they say something happened to them. Oh no. You want to speak up about how they dress. Again, the 99 in the 2000. Once you understand that it doesn't matter how she dresses, you should then understand we don't need to keep policing how anybody is dressing. With the exception of you hoes that go to y'all children's graduations with your ass cheeks out. With the exception of y'all hoes, okay? We are specifically talking about a grown-ass woman at an award ceremony. You don't want to talk about how she's actually being harmed. You want to talk about what she's wearing. Y'all, that's the problem. That's the problem, Sherry. And you sitting here doubling down on it. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about how good your performance was. I don't.
Love Meg Thee Stallion. I love it. But I think that women are going too far. And sometimes we forget that there are people who are watching us. And
what makes it too far? What makes it too far? Because it doesn't matter how people are watching us. Okay, so if everybody's covered up and your little girl grows up to become an adult woman and says, it's fucking hot, I don't want to wear all this. I don't want to wear a long sleeve shirt. I like how my décolletage looks. I want to show that off. When she's an adult woman and she decides that she wants to dress like Megan Thee Stallion because that's her choice, how is the lesson you taught her that she should cover up for how is that lesson translating as she becomes an adult? Because once she becomes an adult, she can dress however the fuck she wants to dress. So why are we trying to tell grown adult people to watch how they dress for children who are going to grow up and do whatever the fuck they want to do as well?
They can't do what we do. They don't have security. They can't walk around and say, I want to do the same thing.
And that's where your parents come into play, ma'am. That's where you as a parent comes into play, ma'am. Megan Thee Stallion can't control what y'all children wear. And I hate when y'all do this because this is a fucking line as old as time, with y'all choosing every generation what woman y'all are going to make responsible for the slut shaming.
So we are our brother's keeper. To whom much is given, much is required. So I knew I was going to get backlash. They told me, you're going to get, and I said, but no, I got to stand up. I got this platform and it's really important that I say it. And
right, because women being whores is the problem, not women being harmed by men. That's not the problem. The problem is that the women are whores, not that the men are violent and aggressive and entitled, right? It's never that. It's always how the women are making the men feel, not the men and their inability to be disciplined and control themselves, right?
And if you listen to the context of what I said, you know, I did love everything. People look at you as well too, like this was fully, you could see everything. Zoe Kravitz graced us with her butt crack. You could see everything.
And you know what? Because Zoe Kravitz doesn't only live in the Black community, she can ignore this and this not really affect her brand the way it affects Megan Thee Stallion's brand, to have another Black woman speaking on her in such a degrading, derogatory manner. That's another thing about it. The white women can escape back over to their side where these puritanical mindsets aren't the same if you're not in a religious sect. Black people are so conservative because every Black person is being raised in a religion in some type of way. A lot of white people have been able to pull themselves away from that. Like, white people can be religious, they cannot be religious. It's not the same thing as Black people usually having their freedom fought for them through churches, right? That's why our perspectives are different. That's why it doesn't matter that Zoe's ass is out, because the white people don't feel the same way about nudity as Black people, because the white people are not still in that same religious mindset. Now, when we go into politics and we go into your evangelicals and your Mormons and all of that, then we can have a different conversation. But in the Black community, what's most important is to slut shame.
I love you. I do.
You don't.
Given future.
You don't. Because if you loved her, you would have been on your platform speaking about Tory Lanez and what he did to her and how he continued to use the public to harass her. That if you loved her. If you loved her and you loved women like her, Jonathan Majors would not have had a seat on your show. You don't love women. You don't love women. Loving women would encompass looking at the entire experience, Sherry. And you're refusing to do that because your eyes are through a male's gaze. Like, the fuck? Child. What else? Like, I will get the fuck out my face. Okay, Simon Guobadia was released from ICE custody and deported back to Nigeria. Simon Guobadia is not mad at President Trump and would like a sit down with him. Is that right? You want to sit down with President Trump?
What we call in the prison system a bitch.
You raggedy bitch.
That's how I feel about that. Other housewife situations. Okay, Giselle Bryant shuts down rumors that her daughter Grace came out as bisexual because I guess they were showing support for Pride. Giselle and Pastor Jamal Bryant's daughter seemingly comes out as bisexual for Pride Month, holding a fan with a bisexual flag. Oh, when did a flag get made? I'm looking at the fan. Does the fan have a bisexual flag on it? Like, I don't know, girl, but Giselle said she's not. This is not true. We support the gay people, but she's not. How do you know? How do you know, Mom? How do you know? If she was, she wouldn't tell you. If she would, she wouldn't tell you. But I feel like if you pop out with a fucking bisexual flag, that will usually tell people that you bisexual. Are we okay? Let me see if I can go find the original post, girl. Where's the original post? Because I ain't see the original post, girl. I just saw the response. Okay. Okay. I didn't know that. Hold up, girl. Let me go look it up. Let me go look up, girl, because you know I don't be looking up flags like that now. I don't really care about your flags. But you know, whatever. Oh yeah, girl. That girl, yeah. Girl, yeah. I don't know what's going on, but it if it quack like a duck. Y'all look, this what the bisexual flag look like. Okay. I didn't even know, girl. And so when we come back here and then she hit us with the thick, slow walk in a box. And she's showing you. Yeah. I mean, it could give she maybe did not know. But if she knew what it meant, then but does it matter? Girl. Girl. I love the color combination though. Shit. I ain't look, it don't why does it she in college, right? Girl. If you don't let them children figure out whatever the fuck they got going on, it's okay. Everybody gonna be all right. Everybody gonna be okay. Oh, girl, did I just pass up on that chaotic story, girl? Let's see. Oh, girl, I don't even want to go to that. All right, India. India Love addresses negative comments after dancing on DDG. I don't let it shake me up. They hated Jesus.
Like, I'm all over the internet getting bashed every day. I just don't look like, if I see negative comments, I just literally like go to the next thing. Like, I don't let it shake me up, not none, because they hated Jesus for one. For two, they gonna hate whether I do great. If I did all the best shit in the world, y'all would still find something to say. So I just, continue to do me because that's how I know I'm successful. We're almost there, y'all. Oh, if that we were talking about negative comments, and she was like, I promise you, if any one of them people that was commenting anything negative could trade lives with you at any moment, they would, and that's facts. So shout out to Gigi, because I wouldn't want to trade lives with them, but I know for a fact they would want to trade lives with me, whether they're hating or, just fake hating. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you're taking the time to go to her page, she might be right. I'm going to have my opinion, but yeah, no, I don't care that much, little girl. Okay. My point was just that the nigga's not your friend. The nigga's not your friend. He's not your friend. He wants to fuck you and use you. He's not your friend. And another thing, when I was younger, we used to be dancing and having a good time. And if a boy liked you and you was dancing with him, that was cool. But like recording you as a girl dancing on a dude like you're some fucking stripper and he's some Mac. Yeah, no, I don't like that energy. I don't like what that feels like. Nigga, either I'm gonna be on a stage or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have your undivided attention, but you're not gonna use me as a tool so you can hump your homeboy and not look gay. Because that's what this looks like. This looks like you really just wanted, to touch your homeboy. And all of this shit is for looks. All of this is for the image. This is to piss Holly off, to piss the internet off, because she's beautiful. You're gonna use her as currency, and she doesn't even realize she's being used as currency. Like, oh my God, girl. And when I tell y'all they're using y'all as currency, I mean it. Yeah, that's gonna make me go back. Hold up, y'all. Let me go back. Because I did see something earlier that validates this point. And also validates that sometimes I really like Jessica White. I know everybody be like, she's nutty buddy, but I like her.
I mean, we are friends. Well, men can't be friends with women. I've learned that. And it's misogynist. It's the patriarchy. They have ownership. They feel just because by birthright that they deserve a woman's body or her time and her attention and her affection just by birthright, not because they put effort in. This is bullshit. And that is what all men think. So is that what you think? He does. He does. Go ahead. Let him answer.
He said, go ahead. She gonna let him answer, bitch. Calm down.
Well, I think when you did invite me to the house, you feel what I'm saying?
No, she doesn't.
No, when she invited me to the house, we ate, we kicked it, we watched movies and all. When you invited me over, you feel me? And you cooked for me. I don't think it was the thing that I thought that you wanted to give me some pussy. I just thought that it was so vibrant that I wanted to get some pussy. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't that I felt entitled to your pussy because of the good deeds that you was doing. It was more that the good deeds that you were doing made me want some pussy.
But if she did not give it to you and you responded in a negative manner, that's where the entitlement comes. And then you'll tell her that because she was doing all of this nice shit for you, that means that you must have wanted to fuck me.
Like, damn, she fine, man. She got me over here in this big, nice ass house. The couch is all comfortable and shit. The dog's fucking with me. She got the kitchen that smell good. Then I ate the food. The shit was busting. We watching the movie. Remember, you gave me the little comforter, the little blanket thing. I'm up under the cover. I'm like, damn, I was some pussy.
And we are friends. Well,
so this is why she said you can't be friends with men. Because as a woman, when you are taking care of somebody because that's just your nature, they are going to take advantage of that fact and feel like that means you should be giving me some coochie. I used to tell y'all all the time I like chaotic, but I could see it. I could see that he was perpetrating, that he was pretending to be the nice guy. And this is the guy that you can't really trust because they're going to pretend that they're the good guy. But when it's really time to be a good guy, they not going to be that. They not. And as a woman that does all of that shit that Jess is talking about, like I really try to make my home comfortable. When people come here, they normally feel like, damn, bitch, I don't want to leave. Like there's always a blanket. The sofa's comfortable. Like there's food, there's alcohol, there's air conditioning, girl. There's gardening tools. Like there's all kinds of shit. We're going to be like, oh, there's gardening. Okay. There are plants. Okay. The dogs are snoring. It's comfortable. There's jazz. Big Crit. Erykah Badu maybe playing in the background all over the house. There's candles and incense burning and shit. You know what I'm saying? When you know that's the type of space that you create in your home from your friends to the people that you fuck with, you know what you are giving to people when you allow them in your space and how that should be handled with grace, not, oh, now I want some pussy. Girl, I was just talking about how, like, it seemed like, I finally let people come to my house and then everybody start acting weird. Like, why y'all acting weird since y'all came to my house? Like, the friendships fall apart. Not long after. Okay, as soon as you let somebody in your house, now your friendship over. What's going on? But you can't be, you can't really be friends with these niggas. As much as you think you can, most of the time you really, really cannot. And when you test them to make sure you're safe, you know what I'm saying? They'll try to flip it and make it seem like, well, y'all always testing us. We're testing y'all because y'all are not safe for us. That's why we have to test y'all. Y'all test us so that y'all can see if we are easily manipulated. And also because you want to dominate us. Right? So let's move on. What else happened?
Jim, I got word over here that Sierra ran down on you.
Yeah, she did.
Like y'all have like lived life in every capacity anyone could live it in. You're living like you've already done it. So let's just seal it properly. Seal it properly because you know what? He deserves it. You deserve it.
I mean, I felt like I got scolded by somebody that was younger than me. No, it was good though. It was a great piece of advice. Honestly, I needed that encouragement. I needed to hear that, especially for somebody who's active in preaching what she's teaching. You know what I mean? Like,
and this is where we're going to start to find the issues with Sierra. I'm sorry, y'all we've been pedestalizing Sierra for her ability to find a woman, a good, nice guy to settle down with. You know what I'm saying? Ever since she made the transition from Future to Russell and what that looks like. And now I'm going to start questioning what is it really like for you? Now I'm going to start questioning, is it what we're really seeing? And the reason why I say that is because if you really know the value of your marriage and your relationship, then you know that some people are not that and they're not going to be that. And they don't need to be married in order for their relationship to be solidified the right way and all of that. I wouldn't even tell Chrissy to marry this nigga at this point. I would be like, girl, you just keep on doing exactly what the fuck you want to do, coming and going as you please until you don't want to mess with that nigga no more. Cause he gonna look unwell before you start looking unwell. Don't you marry that nigga now. That's not good advice, Sierra. That was not good advice. I'm sorry. And then it's gonna make me look at all them other recommendations that you've been fucking making. Like, wait a minute now, bitch. Now we gotta go look. Because y'all, as much as I love my marriage, I'm not about to be telling y'all to do this shit. Like, I'm just not. Because I can't guarantee that you're going to have the same experience that I've had. And I know how dangerous it can be. I know how much of a soul suck it can be if it's not good. And so because I can't trust that you're going to go and have the same dining experience with whatever man you find that I've had with the one I've known since we were, 19 and 20 and shit. Yeah, I'm not about to give y'all that advice. People used to always ask me, and I'm just like, I'm going to give y'all what I've learned, but I can't tell you how to do this, how to find this, because sometimes I don't even know if this is what it is, bitch. I gotta be, I gotta clock in like, we still okay, yeah, all right, yeah. But no, like when you really do have something that's great, you know how hard it is to find. So you don't really push that shit on people. Cause 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, they not gonna find no good situation for them. They're not going to find the man that takes care of them and allows them to be themselves and really supports them throughout, whatever the issues that they might have. Like, no, they're not going to find that. More often than not, they're going to find some lying, cheating, manipulative, using ass nigga. Like, I'm not going to give y'all that advice. And so when I see somebody giving that advice, that makes me then start to question what's actually happening in your marriage, what's actually happening here versus the performance that we're seeing. That, y'all, time always tells, y'all. Time always tells. So we can wait and find out. We can wait and find out. But I'm going to just say this. As a woman who knows what a good husband looks like, I would never ever tell a woman to marry Jim Jones. Girl, that's terrible advice. I would tell Chrissy to be single until the day she died if she could not find a partner that would actually show up for her. Them people been together 20, 30 years. Why the fuck he need to be convinced by Sierra anything? And we all know that's why he said what he said. It was like being, admonished by somebody younger than me. And that's because he heard what you were saying. And because you have this respect from the community and this very puritanical thing you have going on, Sierra, he's going to show you respect. He's gonna hear you out. But in his mind, he's like, girl, please. That nigga probably gaming you too in some type of way. Girl, please. The nigga is literally thinking in his head, girl, please. Because you sound green, Sierra. I hate to say it like that. I know you meant to give weathered church woman knowledge when you came to him with that. But baby, yes, it is giving Kelly Steele. It's giving, I found religion. And so now I have blinders on and I don't see shit clearly. And that makes me feel emboldened and validated to give motherfuckers advice that I really shouldn't be giving them because the Lord told me so. He cussing her in his head. Absolutely. He was absolutely like, girl, if you don't get this bullshit from away, like that's what he was thinking. But he knew he needed to respect her because of how everybody else respects her. But please understand, y'all know there's a whole, sect of people that hate Sierra because she left Future and went on to Russell. So even it like, girl, telling Jim Jones, him and Chrissy need to be married because they've been together so long and they might as well solidify the relationship.
A lot of people have so many different opinions and they nowhere near, marriage or any type of great relationship or any position to give me any type of advice on what I should be doing in my situation. And my situation has been going better than a lot of things that have been going on out here. So I ain't pointing no fingers. I'm just comfortable in what I'm doing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I get you. And I hear that. I feel like when people try to give any advice, especially relationship advice, you got to pick and choose what you allow into what you have going on already. Because people don't know. We only see.
It got to make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It got to make sense because most people that give advice don't even follow their own advice. That's a
100%.
fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think also too, people don't think about the fact that like you and Chrissy are living your situation together. We're not. We are fans of you two, and you know we all got what we want to happen and want to see. But
100%.
glad to know that it was well received. So we gonna get an invite to a wedding?
Yeah,
This
well,
summer?
soon as we get it together, everybody get invited.
As soon as we get it together,
Everybody
get
get invited.
Jim, I got
Y'all, Jim has now turned his corner, right? Jim looked really good for a long time. Even with his hard life, Jim, like maybe, and I mean, y'all know what I mean, right? Like there's always a raggedy hood nigga that because he still has good bones, it still looks good. He's crossed over that. He's now, I'm about to be an old nigga. Don't nobody need to marry him. Don't nobody need to marry him. And I'm mad that he didn't show up with a Method Man aesthetic because that's what I would have liked for him. Like Jim Jones had that capability. Like if Jim Jones wanted to Method Man the situation, he could have. He could have. But a lot of niggas find way too much safety in their nigga shit, in their hood shit. And so they don't grow or evolve past that point. And that's why they age so bad. They age so bad because you're not really evolving, not even in your aesthetic. Jim Jones didn't look bad with no, like there were times where Jim was absolutely an attractive man and I could understand why somebody would want to fuck him. Like I get it. Would I want to be with him long term? Absolutely not. That feels like no, the way that nigga would talk to you, love you one day and then look at you like you dumb the next day while being dumber than you, like yeah, nah. And I appreciate all of that. I'm gonna defend my woman street shit and all of that, but eventually that recklessness will harm you. Like when he got a whole bunch of bills he can't pay for. Yeah, nah. He looks old. He's starting to look frail. Exactly. Don't nobody need to marry him now. Sierra, now we looking at you differently, sis. Sometimes it is best for you to have your great experience and enjoy that without feeling like everybody can have that same experience. Because based on the statistics, based on the way people are being raised and socialized in our society, most men are not going to show up being any way half as disciplined as a Russell Wilson. Like, and we don't even know if he that great because he came from a white woman and because he went and got with your ass after you left Future, we gave him brownie points for not being as toxic as most men. But that don't mean he may not be toxic in his own ways. He might be white man toxic. White man toxic is we pay these bills and we show up the way we want to show up, but and we present ourselves as somebody that's trying to take care of you. But inside the household, we doing just as much to negatively influence you about yourself as anybody else. That church shit, like y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. Religious people, church shit, all of that be scaring me sometimes. Like y'all, you can't ignore that. Men that's so heavy in church, y'all can act like that's not gonna show up negatively in some ways, but I feel like there's no ways around it. Russell seems to have a breeding kink. Yeah, because at this point, girl, how many fucking children is we gonna have? How many children is we gonna have, girl? Because sometimes it feels like the women are not having the children because they want it. They're having them because the men want it. And the way men work is the men would buy the masters to your songs and gift them to you to make you feel like I need to do something for him now that he's done something like that for me. And so I have all these fucking kids I may not want to really have. I might want to get out there and perform again. But as soon as I get my footing, this nigga's going to get me pregnant and I'm going to be back inside. Like, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's the case, but it could be. She does. She looks amazing. She looks so great. Like, and we see her doing these amazing things. That's why it's so hard to believe that anything could be wrong. But then she's talking to Jim Jones about how he need to fucking marry Chrissy. And we like, now, girl, something not adding up. Okay. All right. Let's see. Because y'all know I want to do some Diddy talk today. I want to do some Diddy bopping today. So if I didn't cover something, before we get into the Diddy bop of it all, I need y'all to stop finding niggas funny when they really lames. Cause this was so lame to me. This y'all, a lot of y'all, like I'm now at this point, I want no pots. I don't give a fuck how nice Ray J seems in person. I don't care how everybody thinks it's trolling. Like I don't give a fuck. Ray J is a non-motherfucking factor as far as I'm concerned. I would ignore him just like his sister does. Okay?
First and foremost, I want to apologize to Sexy Red because Sexy Red is one of my favorite artists. And
he's high. That's another thing. During a lot of these interviews, he's either drunk or high. And when I say he's not okay, everybody wants to argue about if he's saying something factual instead of actually paying attention to the fact that he is not his normal, like, or the version of himself that he performs when he's trying to make it seem like he's on his shit. That's not the version of him we're seeing here. Something's wrong. And everybody keeps acting like, oh, he's just performing or trolling. No, something's fucking wrong with Ray J.
Sexy Red and I was on a plane and we were both flying somewhere. We randomly saw each other. She was sitting by me. She had her space. I had my space. She had her own blanket, her own pillow. I had my own blanket and my own pillow. And we had a long flight. And
I'm glad you said that.
we both were tired, you know what I'm saying? So we went to sleep. Just like we would sleep with anybody else that was sitting next to us on the plane.
There's no we though.
You
We
know,
weren't together. This is what he did. Him and that other, hold up. Him and that other weird ass rapey nigga, Young Berg, okay? Because I'm sorry, that nigga gives me, you can't trust that nigga around your drink vibes either, okay? And they were together doing these, doing these conversations, and he was once again, I feel like somebody even brought up him bringing up Drea again, like, let it rest, nigga. But he was talking about how Diddy called him pretty. And I'm like, yeah, Young Berg is definitely Diddy's type. But he said during this live, look at him. Something wrong with him. He is literally regressing.
You know what? I don't think you need to block the Whitney stuff. Just let it live, man. I don't care. You know, it's insensitive, but it's a story that people are making up.
What you mean it's insensitive? The fact that we think that you gave her drugs and we think you gave Wendy Williams drugs, and then now your name is being like mentioned in the Diddy trial. Outside of that, y'all, I don't feel like listening to him. That's why I keep stopping him. But basically, Ray J got online and said that he and Sexy Red slept together in this live, and then later apologized for it when she cursed his ass out. Justin Bieber said, "What the fuck wrong with him?" Like, people was like, "Ray J, stop." And so then he comes out and says that what he meant by they slept together was that they were sleeping on the same plane. Something's wrong with Ray J, and I want y'all to stop listening to him and stop giving him microphones because he's not well. He's not well, y'all. He's really not. Right? So let me see. Also, please don't front. I know y'all see this white people shit, right?
Ray J was brought up in court today. They told Vanna, drug dealer Ray J, she said, I don't know if that's his name. It sounds like that singer, but I don't think it's him.
Yeah, when I heard that, as a matter of fact, I think everybody gasped when we heard that. Because we still want justice for Whitney Houston. Ray J was Whitney Houston's gay best friend, selling her illegal substances, and it's alleged that he gave her a fatal cocktail because Clive Davis allegedly had an insurance policy on her, and obviously when these celebrities pass away, their music sell like crazy. And Whitney Houston was supposed to perform that night, and we know that her performance skills just went down the drain. So, Ray J, the feds are watching you.
But why did they say the drug dealer today was Ray J? Do you think it's the same guy? She's trying to say it's not, but you thought it was.
Absolutely, I believe it's Ray J, the singer. And if I had one wish, you need to come out the closet. That's what I wish. And I do believe it was that Ray J. What other person in Hollywood has the name Ray J? Nobody. It was him. You've been pushing the opioids and stuff. over there in California. You got Whitney Houston unalive because you knew she was susceptible to it, and he pushed that off on Cassie. I'm willing to bet that Diddy didn't get Cassie hooked. It was Ray J.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go that far. Because if what you're saying is true, and I'm not saying it is, but we have believed ever since, because he would be pictured. He would be pictured. After the Whitney Houston thing came out, that was what we were hearing. After Whitney Houston died, we were hearing that. Then he popped up with Wendy Williams. And I remember thinking to myself, anytime you see a nigga with his hair colored in a book bag, that's not a good sign. And then also, if you watch Love and Hip Hop, at some point that Ray J really did have drugs in his book bag because he had a legal marijuana business. So it's not far-fetched. Let's talk about the way Ray J has consistently put himself into this Diddy trial situation by speaking on it. And then, at one point he's pushing himself away from it, removing himself from it. And the kids are mad at him. And then, he comes back and says, oh, well, he may not have done it. Yeah, you are putting yourself in it for a reason. And you're over there self-imploding. Like you're over there, like losing your mind is what it looks like to me. And I imagine that might be because you feel like the walls are about to close in on you. You can't do all of that shit and think that it's never going to catch up to you, especially as a Black man. You know what I mean? Like it's going to catch up to you. That's the thing. Y'all think because they're Black, that means they're not guilty. No, because they're Black, it means that they're most likely going to get caught when they do the shit. That's what it means. So that's what he was also replying to. But we've been saying that shit. We've been saying that shit. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I'm glad somebody brought up Rotten Mango in the comments. Shout out to Rotten Mango on YouTube. I wanted to play this video for y'all and then we'll get into more Diddy shit. But hold up, let me run my shit first.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
Okay.
Inside the courthouse or right after the court or the entire team, like right before we go into the courthouse. We're really just trying to mind our own business. But even so, just a few days ago, one of our team members was waiting in the line super early, gets harassed to the point of tears. A passerby is cursing at her, screaming belligerently at her, tries to snatch her phone from her hand. We've been told that she's been starting quite a few fights outside the courthouse. This is completely unprompted. She's screaming racist slurs at our team member's face. Nobody cares. Nobody helps. Like, people are just standing around live streaming it, filming it, watching it. And then afterwards, after the crazy lady leaves, the same people that were filming that did nothing to help our team member are now filming her as they comfort her. And they're like trying to rub her back and tell her it's okay. It is so dystopian. We were inside the courthouse, so we didn't even know until after the fact. There were briefly a group of protesters wearing Free Diddy shirts across the street from the courthouse. They were allegedly getting paid $20 an hour to stand outside and wear Free Diddy t-shirts to promote the Diddy coin, which we've also received an email about. It's like a crypto coin for Diddy, so there's that. There was another incident where a man was believed to be holding a pool ball inside of a sock. So he's like threatening to swing it around and hit people with it. We didn't see it. We were warned about it. So we like stayed in the courthouse a little bit longer before exiting that day. And it's the same guy that allegedly we heard again that he spat at a reporter. He was screaming homophobic slurs at people in the line. And the NYPD, they will just take the people harassing the public and the press outside waiting to get into the courthouse, will lead them across the street and then send them off. They literally just cross the street with them. We've seen this happen almost every other day. I mean, I think they can't really do anything unless someone demands to press charges or, I don't know, actually, God forbid, gets injured. So that's great.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. This is the I said shut the fuck up, bitch. I said I called you a bitch.
There has been so much happening inside the courthouse or right
Rotten Mango also talked about having somebody come up to her and her team repeatedly the past 2 weeks asking what hotel room she's staying in. She also clocked that Diddy must know who she is because he's repeated things in court that she said on her blogs about it, on her videos. This tells me that Diddy and his team are making a concerted effort to affect the people that are outside the courthouse, right? And do you remember when I told y'all I felt that it was very weird the way Lauren LaRosa and that one like gay white guy were reporting about the the trial, like literally right after the trial started, they were on, they're I don't know if it's a RICO, and we need more than Cassie's feelings and all of this shit. And it's like, well, I'm reading it, and they're telling me that it's not just her feelings. They're also saying that she has corroborating text messages and phone calls. And then they're bringing up people to further corroborate what she's saying. And these are people that still really care about Diddy, so they don't even want to be there. So they're up there telling the truth. Like, they would lie on his behalf because they obviously still care about him, but they can't, and they're scared to, because thank God they're more scared of the judicial system than they are of Diddy. And then to see that the police are not doing anything to protect anybody. And then y'all are, people are, why y'all don't call it when shit happens like this with men like Diddy? Why didn't you go to the police? Outside his trial, the police are doing nothing to protect the people that are out there. And I've seen many YouTubers who I know, who know me, that have gone out there, and I'm praying for their safety. I'm praying that they are okay, because it doesn't seem like it's safe. It just doesn't seem like it's safe. It seems as if you don't know who you're talking to when you're out there. There are so many crackhead-like people, yes, out there chasing people, out there running up on people, just all kinds of crazy shit. And that makes me feel like that is something being done by Diddy. And if that is what he is doing to the people covering the case, he's not safe for the rest of us. He should not be released, y'all. He should not get off, y'all. Y'all should not want to free him. If this is the type of power he can use outside his trial, listen to me. This is unreal that this is what's happening outside of the courthouse and nothing is being done about it. It also, to me, showcases how much Diddy is still close to, connected to the crackheads of the world, right? He's still connected to that degenerate street life that everybody claims he's not really part of, right, Judge Mathis? That's why I didn't like when Judge Mathis said that shit, because y'all might think that, oh, he's basically just saying Diddy's not a street guy. What that tells me is you're trying to make it seem like Diddy isn't as bad as he really is. That's what it seemed like to me. How you gonna say a nigga that's doing a whole bunch of street shit is not a street dude? And then rolls out, shit, I read something and now my mind fucked up. Somebody said Tisha has security with her. I'm glad she has security. I was on some of her lives and saw how people are standing by her and walking up on her and being close and, oh, can I just take a picture with you? Can I just take a video with you and all of this type of shit? Can I record you? Why you want to record her? You want to record her so y'all will know who's saying what? I'm really praying that everybody's safe out there, because I definitely feel like it's a concerted effort from the media, DJ Envy, Lauren LaRosa, that white guy, those of y'all that keep acting like y'all didn't understand what a fucking RICO was. All of that shit is on purpose. All of that shit is intentional. And they're doing it outside the courtroom, trying to affect the people that are reporting on it. Bitches blowing up in the damn courtroom talking about they laughing at you, Diddy. They laughing at you. So everybody that's like that ever wants to defend Diddy, I just want to let y'all know y'all are acting like crackheads that can be paid $20 to harass people outside of a courthouse. Y'all are literally the people online doing that. There are people that are doing that for real in real life outside the courthouse. Y'all are the crackhead versions online, because it's the same thing. Y'all are literally trying to bully everybody into rewriting the history of this situation and who Sean Combs really is. Stop it. We've all been seeing it this entire time. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with everybody. He's taking advantage of not just the women, he's taking advantage of the employees. He's taken advantage of the artist. He's taken advantage of and exploited and harmed everybody he's in contact with. At that point, he is not safe for anybody, not just women who y'all feel like are whores. Oh, because I want y'all to know right now, the way y'all have handled the Daphne aspect of this case has really pissed me off. The way y'all have handled the Daphne aspect of this case has pissed me the fuck off. Because Daphne just showcases that he was doing this to almost every woman he was in a relationship with. And I say almost because I feel like there might be levels to it, but I do think he did it to all of them. I do. I think he abused all of them. I think whatever he did to Misa, he did to Kim. Whatever he did to Kim, he did to Cassie. Whatever he did to Cassie, he did to Daphne and Gina. Whatever he did to Daphne and Gina, he did to Young Miami. Because Diddy is the same person. Diddy is the abuser. He's going to abuse everybody because he is the abuser. And y'all are on fucking line acting like, oh, just get a job, bitch. This is some of Daphne's testimony. Shout out to Demetria Lucas. Diddy asked Jane to get nip piercings. He said it would turn him on, and that's what he wanted from his girl, Jane testified. KK set up the appointment. After a year, Jane removed them because they bled and got infected. Diddy was upset. Where are my piercings? He would ask or say. This is the last time I see you where you don't have piercings on. Jane got UTIs and yeast infections almost every week, she testified. She took antibiotics for pain. It would take Jane a week and a half to 2 weeks to recover, and sometimes she would not recover before the next hotel night. Jane would get sore in her vagina and pelvic area every hotel night, but she never told Diddy. Diddy told Jane he was recording the hotel nights on his cell just for him. He would record nearly all the hotel nights. He changed the name, same shit. He was always high when Diddy recorded. She was always high when Diddy recorded. She didn't mind the recording, she testified. It was just a part of what was happening. And this is what I want a lot of y'all to recognize. This is what I want a lot of y'all to recognize in what we're seeing here. Diddy is brutalizing these women and they don't even realize it. And I think he is purposefully finding women that are not as experienced or not as smart, or their self-esteem is in the basement. You telling me a woman that was with 50 Cent first, self-esteem is not in a basement? Have y'all seen 50 Cent? I don't think any woman that's in a relationship with 50 Cent is being treated with respect and love and care. I don't care what he shows y'all on the internet. I don't even know if he shows y'all anything on the internet, but I just believe the type of personality he is, he's going to nag and be mean and hurt your feelings and disregard you and not care about how you feel until it suits him. That's the type of person that 50 Cent gives me. So if Daphne was in a relationship with 50 Cent first and then goes to Diddy, it probably looked a lot like when Suge Knight came and saved Michelle Leigh from Dr. Dre, where one person is a complete and utter asshole and everybody knows that. So the other guy acts like he's a savior and gets you all emotionally enmeshed, and then he starts abusing you even worse. Like, to me, instead of, because I feel like how y'all see it is, oh, she's just another whore, another escort. Or is she just another beautiful woman with low self-esteem that has been taught to value money above everything else? And then y'all act like our whole system does not raise everybody to care about money above everything else. You can't even find value in women because they don't make the same amount of money as men. Because everything that men do can be a dollar amount can be applied, but the things that women provide can sometimes not be quantified. Therefore, you cannot find a tangible price point for what a woman will give someone. So we make all of that work. We make that seem like that doesn't have any value, but it is literally the most valuable. That's a way to demean women and what they bring to the table. If for nothing, that girl was beautiful. Walking around with a beautiful woman on your arm will give a man a better image. Just like Nia Long sitting next to Young Jeezy. Beautiful women have innate value. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but beautiful women have value no matter what. They do. They have value no matter what. And that is because men will find a way to use them as accessories and tools to get validation from other men. So everybody acting like, oh, he didn't even hit Daphne. He probably didn't have to. He probably didn't have to. All he had to do was talk crazy to Daphne. Sometimes you don't have to hit people. You just talk to them a certain way. And because the groundwork has already been laid for them to be traumatized, scared, and abused, it's already, the implementation is already there. All you have to do is just start acting a certain way. And those women are going to respond just like any other woman would respond. They're going to crave to still be received and loved and validated by somebody who's treating them badly, because that's what most women do. Y'all going to act like most women don't do that, but that's what most women do. Yes, hey Diva, the psychological abuse happens way early on, y'all. Our childhoods prime us for the psychological abuse. The psychological abuse makes way for the physical, the sexual, and the financial. And I know a lot of y'all don't understand what financial abuse is because we live in a capitalist society. But when a person comes into your life, so Daphne was an influencer. Diddy says, oh, you don't have to work. I'll give you money so that you don't have to work because I want you to spend time with me. Most women would feel like that was a badge of honor to have a rich nigga tell her that he's going to pay her for her time so she don't have to go to work because he wants to spend time with her. She's going to think that's a good thing. But what that is doing is making it so that she becomes codependent upon him, and he's doing this on purpose, which means he knows he's doing it. I'm going to make sure that you're not taking care of yourself, and I'm going to do it for you. And you're going to think I'm saving you. But really, I'm putting you at a disadvantage. So now when you don't want to do the things that I want you to do, you're going to do them because I'm financially abusing you. I've made you dependent upon me so that I can make you do what I want you to do. Coercion. It's abuse. It's called financial abuse. Y'all feel like, oh, it's my money. So if you don't want to do what I want you to do, then you don't need my money. Okay, so then remember Brian McKnight telling his son that if he wanted to receive the help and aid that Brian could provide, he had to come to his house? Why do I have to come to your house? Why can't you just send it to me? Because it comes with strings attached. Because providing for people comes with strings attached. And then y'all was like, he giving you $10,000 a month. Why don't you just go and get a cheaper place and save some of that money and this and that? Man, that might be true, but you asking somebody in an abusive relationship that's already there because they value money over their own personal well-being. You're telling them that they should make better financial decisions is literally the least of the fucking problems. The girl not managing the money he was giving her well is the least of the fucking problem. Oh my God. That's what y'all want to talk about? That's what y'all want to talk about with Daphne? Daphne is basically telling y'all she had the exact same experience as Cassie. And instead of that validating that Diddy is this man, this monster who Cassie said he is, instead of us seeing that because he did this exact same thing to a whole nother woman, that means he's guilty. Oh, no. Y'all want to talk about if the woman wasn't being financially astute with the little money that he was giving her. Bitch, you didn't value yourself enough to get more money. If she's even in this situation, she's not valuing herself, bitch. What are y'all talking about? I'm sorry, but I really get aggravated with people who I perceive as smart acting dumb sometimes. I do. Let me continue. It would take Jane a week and a half to 2 weeks to recover, and sometimes she would not recover before the next hotel night. Jane would get sore in her vagina and pelvic area every hotel night, but she never told Diddy. Diddy told Jane he was recording the hotel nights. We read that one. She thought that was just a part of the situation. Jane says she acted like she enjoyed F-offs because I wanted to put on a good show. She testified Diddy would direct her and she would follow a command. So this is what I need for y'all to understand. Because y'all will think that that's not abuse, that she felt like she wanted to please him. She wanted to put on a good show for him. If Diddy was a good person, if Diddy wasn't an abuser, he would not want her to make that type of sacrifice. If you don't really want to do this, I don't want you to do it just so you could please me. That's how it should go if somebody is a good person. But just like money, access, also women want validation and emotional support. They want to be liked or loved by the man that they like or love, or the man that's been, manipulating them into like and love. It's weird that y'all don't see that this is abusive behavior, regardless of whether he was beating her or not. Jane saw Diddy give cash to at least 2 men. He kept cash in a hotel bedroom nightstand. That's prostitution, people. Prostitution is not legal. She paid twice, but it was money Diddy gave her. Sometimes he would run out of cash and would call security or KK to bring more. These are more RICO, right? Because this is more people involved, aiding and abetting. November 2021, Jane returned home after a 2-day F-off that she thought was going to be a weekend vacation with Diddy. How often does Diddy lie to people to get them in spaces so that he can have his way with them? That's another level of coercion. Lying to people and telling them that it's going to be just a dance. I just came here to dance for y'all and that's it. And it ends up being, you fuck Cassie while I jack off behind you, knowing that I'm making you uncomfortable and it's turning me on to do so. Y'all really not paying attention when y'all be having some of these conversations I see y'all having online about this shit. Diddy had posted egg photos of another woman in his home gym. This doesn't make me feel good at all, Jane texts Diddy. You've been saying you miss me and want to see me, but you just want the hotel sex. Diddy responded with an expletive-filled voice message that thundered through the courtroom on replay, according to the Washington Post reporting. You're fucking nuts, he bellowed. It doesn't matter if I just finished fucking her the other day. So when y'all be acting like, oh, she knew what she was getting in it, she knew what she was getting into. A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. Because men fucking lie. And y'all get mad at women for not being smart enough and not getting manipulated by people that y'all are literally being manipulated by because you're online defending them. You, the public, have never come in actual physical contact with Diddy and y'all are online defending him. You are just as easily manipulated by him as the women that he did this shit to. Y'all are the same people. After Diddy FaceTime Jane, he would say all the things I wanted to hear, Jane testified. He would say that it's not what I'm thinking. He would just downplay whatever I was freaking out about and say he loved me and he missed me and wanted to see me. Playing mind games. All purposeful, all intentional, y'all. It's all intentional to keep her on a hook. How many of y'all have conversations with men begging them to do right and you just want them to tell you the right thing? Like when you know your man is a cheater and y'all get into an argument, you just want him to say what you want to hear. You know he gonna cheat on you again. But you're excited about him being sorry and then him doing a whole bunch of shit to make you feel better about it until he cheats on you again. And then y'all can go through this cycle again. Because a lot of women start to get addicted to the makeup. And that's a part of BDSM too. Everything is bastardized and corrupted, child. November 2022, Jane began writing her feelings about Diddy and the hotel nights in her notes app. Repeatedly, she wrote how much she loathed the F-offs and didn't want to participate. So this is somebody that at least knows that if I journal my feelings, I can at least deal with them. She may not be smart with money, but she was smart enough to document her experience. In one of the notes, she mentions that after the F-offs at her home, Diddy would leave her alone to clean up and he would be in contact with other women while he was with her. You have just crossed too many lines, she wrote in the app. You know why? Because if you really just a freak and you into BDSM, that's not how you handle women. That's not how you handle them. You have to do the aftercare. You have to take care of them. You have to make them feel like whatever pain they just went through for your pleasure is now going to gain them their own pleasure. That's not what he did. December 22nd, Jane, 2022, she wrote, "You are hurting, you are hurtful and damaging to me. I am done being used by you. You leave me to clean up and recover on my own. And everybody knows you are not supposed to do that. That's where the emotional abuse comes. That's why it's actual abuse and not BDSM, because he's not fucking doing it right, even for the rules of BDSM." February 2023, after Jane's birthday, she saw on social media that Diddy had begun dating a new woman. I'm sure this was Carisha. He took the new woman to Kirk's and Caicos on his private jet, which he had decorated for the woman's birthday. "It made me feel absolutely terrible," Jane testified. "I just finished spending my birthday with all these guys having sex with me, and then he would do such a romantic gesture for someone else." That's on purpose. That's on purpose. Please understand, he meant to make you feel like shit while simultaneously putting her on a pedestal. That's how the triangulation works. That's how she'll then look at those other women. Remember Carisha telling Gina she was an eater? Because you think you the bottom bitch, because you ignorant, right? You ignorant. So you the bottom bitch. The bottom bitch is the one whose mind is usually the most warped. She don't even give a fuck about her own self-preservation. And she's also the one that believes because she might be treated slightly better, she's having a better dining experience. But really, it's just the beginning of the love bombing for her. That's all. He's just changing them out. And so when you're at the level with one that you could tell she's about to leave you, now you have to start working on the next one. I do believe he love bombed Carisha, made her think she was better than all of them women, and then made her do the exact same shit that that the other women were doing. It just takes time. You got to love bomb her. You got to make her think she's special. You have to put in the positive work. That's not the experience of him I had. Sure. But you're online ever so often telling us how sad you are. I watched them online having a FaceTime conversation. I already know what the fuck going on. And I've been knew what the fuck was going on. Everybody online, Carisha's just having a good time. You can't have no good time with no nigga like that. That's not how they work. It doesn't matter who Carisha is, because this is about who Sean is. And that's the part y'all keep missing. It don't matter that she a bottom bitch that thinks she can handle all of his abuse better than the other bitches. Because that's what the bottom bitches think. I can handle his abuse better than you. That's why he gonna love me more and treat me better. No, it means your mind is gone the most. He can do the most damage to you. That's why you're the bottom bitch. You're literally at the bottom. Right. He put her in position. Yeah, bitch, at the bottom. And you don't even realize it. I'm going to tell you how another reason she don't realize it. Carisha was like outside of the sex work. Carisha thinks she wasn't working for that. She was working for that. But she had her own popularity that was also currency for her. And he used that. Every time they was out together, it was an advertisement for one of his businesses. It wasn't just him. Remember, he was like, I remember commenting on the video, why this nigga acting like him buying her, going shopping with her is going, run his pockets or something. Like, why you acting like you ain't got the money for this shit? The fuck? Weirdo behavior. Carisha's birthday is February 11th. The woman the entire internet believes is Jane. Her birthday is February 8th. Jane added, I feel so cheap once again, she told Diddy. She felt used. Diddy responded, he was tired of Jane constantly throwing sex in his face. I'm done with you comparing yourself to someone else. Now, this is shit he's done, but now he's going to flip it on her. I treat you good. And if you don't feel so, let's just be friends. I'm tired of these long texts telling me what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, y'all ain't never had conversations with a nigga where you just trying to tell them how they hurting you and they flipping it on you like you doing something wrong to them because you want them to stop hurting you. Yeah. Women, y'all ain't never had no situations like that, huh? Okay. Or y'all will have had situations like that. And because you weren't being tricked out, you'll assume that that's as far as it went. Girl, shut the fuck up. Jane, I don't throw sex in your face constantly, but these nights require everything out of me for 30 to 40 hours straight. I figure on my birthday, you would switch it up on me. You're making me feel used right now. And now you're breaking up with me. It was the same thing with Cassie, making her do freak offs on her birthday. It's a way to take anything that belongs to you and corrupt it, bastardize it. Diddy eventually texted her, he missed her and asked to make it up to her. Jane didn't respond for 13 days. Diddy texted and called Jane and had his butler and assistant do so as well. She scheduled a trip to Paris for Fashion Week. A few hours before her flight, Diddy called her phone 30 times in a row. Sounds like somebody that could have went and made money on their own, but a nigga is impeding their process. Because all of y'all acting like, girl, just go get a job. Sound like she had a job and was trying to do her job. And at every turn, Diddy is blowing up her fucking phone and impeding her process. You mean like Cassie saying that she wanted to model and act and Diddy telling her to stay in music so he can keep her locked in a fucking basement making music that wasn't going to be released, impeding her process? These niggas don't want these women to make their own money. That's why they don't do this to women that's on their same level. Because the money gives the women freedom to say no. She went to Paris for 5 days. At some point, Diddy sent her a message saying he wanted to take her to TNC and he missed her. She said, I missed him as well, Jane said. She and Diddy were on again. Jane and Diddy spoke about the details of the trip. He suggested she come to Miami and they plan a night of debauchery and fun, i.e. hotel night, and then straight to the airport. Jane said she just wanted him and to reconnect. He said, okay. In Miami, they bickered about Paris. Diddy was upset that Jane went to Paris. He said his girl can't do that. What y'all think that's about? Sitting up there acting like this fucking girl couldn't go make her own money. And when she was going out there to do it, because the only reason you go to Paris Fashion Week is for work. He don't want his girls to work. And then y'all up there in the fucking comments talking about, bitch, you was just there for the money. Missing the whole goddamn point. The jury is showing pictures of Diddy and Jane on the beach. Shortly after arriving, Diddy got bored and invited an entertainer and a personal trainer to join them. The hotel night lasted 24 hours. She wanted it. Did she? This she wanted it conversation goes back to Freud. Y'all know that Freud was basically lying on people back in the day, okay? And he did these interviews with all of these teenage girls that were going through hysteria, as they called it back in the day. Found out that the girls had all had experiences where they were sexually assaulted by fathers or other males in the family. Freud takes this to the men he works with, and they say that, no, you can't put this out. It's a lie. And it's because most of them are fucking their kids or the girls in their family, and they don't want this to be outed. Upon applying pressure to Freud, Freud changes the narrative and says that the girls wanted it. The girls wanted these relationships with their fathers, and that's why it happened. That's where that comes from, right? So fast forward to Eve's Bayou. I think we now, if you didn't know before who was telling the truth in Eve's Bayou, Cecily was telling the truth in Eve's Bayou. Because let's add even more evidence so that we can make that point about how men try to flip shit all the time when it's really them. Right? Why would your father be taking you to women's houses so that you could sit on the porch and listen to him fuck them inside? Really think about it, y'all. Why would a father do that? Then why would a father create triangulation with his daughter and her mother, creating this energy between the two of them where they feel like they need to be competing? Why would a father do that if he were not grooming his daughter? So just so we're clear, Cecily is the child. Why do y'all assume that children are these adults who've come to these conclusions on their own out of nowhere. If you really pay attention to what was happening, if a man is bringing his children around his sexual situations, grooming, triangulation with the mother, grooming, then he was making the youngest daughter feel worse. So then once Cecily maybe aged out, or once, you know, he was done with Cecily, he could move on to her, because she would want whatever attention that Cecily was getting, because triangulation was created within her as well. And it wasn't until I read about Freud, the play on the words, y'all, the etymology, y'all, the words. Freud was a fraud. He was given the information that what was more than likely happening is men fucking their girl children. As we all know, this happens at high numbers. But instead of focusing on that, you allow the men who are doing the perpetrating to bully you into flipping it and making it the teenage girl's fault, which then added to the hysteria and why they were lobotomizing women in the 50s, the 40s and the 50s. Anytime a woman was upset, having issues, nobody wants to deal with the real issue. So you say she's hysterical and put her in a hospital and lock her away. Imprisoning women for finally cracking after years of being abused or assaulted. I just wanted to drop that in the bucket right quick, because that's reflected in how everything that he's doing is being projected back onto the victim. So, because I just want y'all to know, like, having sex for 24 hours, as I've continued to tell y'all, no woman is actually enjoying that. No woman is actually enjoying that. So whatever y'all think the women are doing that's manipulative and conniving, Diddy is purposefully getting these women past their point of pleasure on purpose. He knows you like it to some extent, and that's why he gonna push it until it gets to a point that you don't like it, because he doesn't want you to enjoy it. This is not about your pleasure. This is about him manipulating you so that he can use you and exploit you in the way that he would like. Jane wanted to use the money for a beautiful home. Diddy suggested he pay the landlord directly. He had his accountant contact Jane's landlord about the rent. So for everybody that was like, oh, you know, why you just didn't use the money and do this? It's obvious that Diddy understands that if he was just giving her money, she would be able to do something with that money. Instead, he wants to pay the landlord directly. He's not putting the money in her hand for $10,000 of rent. And also, I bet y'all any money, she probably didn't even want to live somewhere that expensive. But because for him, wherever she lives is a place that he needs to be comfortable coming. So he's going to pay for her to have an expensive apartment. And y'all are going to think it's something that she wanted for herself. But no, it was him wanting a certain type of apartment to come and assault her at from time to time. Diddy don't want to come to your cheap ass apartment and have a relationship with you. So he's going to pay the $10K so you can have a place that he feels comfortable assaulting you in. The fact that so many of y'all think that, oh, she just money hungry, but was too stupid to get the money and put it to the side. Y'all really are the ones that are missing a lot of what's happening here. Diddy also paid for Jane to get veneers. He didn't like my teeth, Jane testified. KK made the appointment. April through August of 2023, Jane and Diddy saw each other frequently, always for F-offs. August 2023, Diddy texts Jane, "Are we getting freaky tonight?" How Jane responded is unclear. Diddy responded, "Well, get over it, please. Look at that roof over your head and your pretty teeth." Jane testified Diddy was paying her rent by then, and he still is on today, June 6th in the year of our Lord 2025. So he's still paying her rent, which tells me that she would not have come if she was not subpoenaed. She would not have come if she wasn't subpoenaed. Jane noted that the allowance was not enough to furnish her home, and she opened 3 credit cards to buy furniture. This, if y'all understood indentured servitude and slavery and how they would basically start to charge you and tax you so you stayed enslaved by them. This is the same thing. Record companies do this when they give y'all all of this fucking money and then on the back end talking about you got to pay for this, and that. And it's like, bitch, wait a minute. When did you tell me I was going to have to pay for this? Gotcha, bitch. Giving her just enough for her to be living a similar lifestyle, but not enough for her to actually gain any financial autonomy. Think how much money Diddy was supposed to be making, billions of dollars, and he's still shortchanging everybody. Because if the people around him were to actually be successful off of him, then he would no longer be able to exert power over them. Everything is about power for him. So he was never going to pay anybody enough money to not need him. That's the assistants, that's the security guards, the chef, and the women that he's basically pimping into being sex workers for him. Jane noted that the allowance was not enough, so she opened up the credit cards. So the credit cards puts her in debt. So now I can't leave him because I got to maintain this apartment that he probably made me get. He's paying the rent. And I would love for y'all to tell me that y'all are happy to go run and be homeless. Most of y'all. I would love for y'all to tell me y'all would pass up on somebody financially taking care of you and putting you in a really nice house. That y'all would pass up on that. Most of y'all would not, and y'all would end up waking up with a dick in your ass that you didn't expect to be there. Just like a lot of people that found themselves around Diddy. Because you wanted to take care of yourself. Because you wanted a nice lifestyle. The way y'all demonize people for wanting luxury at the same time constantly trying to sell them the shit is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. The people that really have the confidence to not go this way, to believe in themselves, also can still have empathy for the people that do end up going this way. Jane noted, Jane asked Diddy for help covering the furniture. On day 17, Jane testified Diddy wired her $20K. Y'all, Diddy could have wired, for everything he putting that girl through, he could have wired that girl a few $100,000. Diddy was a billionaire before his stock plummeted. He could have easily not only bought the girl a house, but bought it and then put it in her own name. Helped her start her own business. But you don't really want these women to use your wealth to make themselves better or to actually empower them. You want to use your wealth to exploit them. And then you asking them why they're not making better financial decisions. Jane turned down an all-star hotel night, which involved multiple entertainers, multiple escorts, multiple prostitutes. She was menstruating and not feeling well. So y'all see how even the love and the money wasn't enough to make her actually want to have a freak off night when she was on her period. Diddy cursed her out and told her, don't stress me about money ever again. So some people, you can hit them. Some people, all you got to do is threaten them with financial abuse and they will do what you say. Just like y'all working them jobs, right? You work your job. You got hired to do a specific job. They start asking you to do other shit and then threaten you that if you're not willing to do the other shit that you didn't sign up to do, that they're going to fire you. Well, you need the job because you need to pay your bills. So now you're doing your job and a job that you did not sign on to do because you don't want to get fired. Y'all still going to act like y'all don't understand? I'm just giving you examples. I'm just giving you examples of how it may not be at the same level, but it's the same type of energy. Right? Same type of energy. Jane texts back she'd been doing FOS for 2.5 years and that she's not a sex robot. He didn't respond for 3 weeks. So he was mad at her. And when he did, he sent an audio warning Jane that she was going to have a rude awakening if she did not participate in the F-offs. I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, he said. He added, you need to get on your job. So the audio was released. I'm not going to play it because I don't feel like it. And all of y'all in the comments acting like, you know, oh, we all send voice messages. In the context of this, it's proving the point that he's using coercion to make her do something she doesn't want to do. Diddy told Jane he didn't know she never wanted to do F-offs in 2024, last year. Jane said at first she believed him, but then she looked at her texts and realized she'd been saying the same things over and over again since 2021. The end. Right? She said the whole time she didn't want to do it. She ain't like it. But he's using mental, emotional, and financial manipulation. That's where the coercion comes in. That's where the abuse comes in. And so now somebody commented on Young Miami working out. Yes, queen, let the people know you're busy enjoying your life and not playing victim on the stand. We love you. Whoever this person is, you're a sick, twisted individual. And I imagine that if you have not been exploited by a man yet, you will, because the mentality that you have in order to fight this narrative will eventually get you fucked up by some man too. Like those of y'all that defend people like Diddy, and then y'all feel like the women that they abused, you feel like their victims are playing victim. Y'all are going to end up being victimized too, because you don't see the abuser when they're coming. Young Miami actually liked that post. She liked that post because she's a bottom bitch. She's a bottom bitch. That's why. And the bottom bitch thinks that she's better than all of the other bitches. Instead of recognizing, no, bitch, you're just one of. You're just one of. Just one of. Hold up, y'all. One more thing. Where Miss Girl at? You know, where's Miss Girl at that was patting herself on the fucking back? Because did I not save it? I thought I saved it, child. 51 of 50 Cent baby mamas on the internet, you know, acting like she better than Daphne, right? Talking about I ain't have to sell shit. And I'm just like, girl, if you was with 50 Cent, you was selling it whether you realized it or not. Like a lot of y'all think that y'all are better than other women because you aren't whoring yourself out. Meanwhile, end up getting took every way you turn, emotionally getting whored out, mentally getting whored out, financially being whored out. I'm just saying. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Because I thought I saved it. Hold on. Let me go to my mentions, child. Because I think it was in my mentions. Because I had to comment on that shit. I was like, are you, bitch? You really think you're not? You really think when you was with 50? And then I feel like the only reason you online acting like you're better than Daphne is because you're jealous of the triangulation that was created when you were being told that you was just a regular black bitch and Daphne was special because she's exotic, correct? And so now, instead of seeing the issue with a man that would even try to cause triangulation with another woman that he's also mistreating, you on online dancing and acting like you better because you didn't end up in the exact same situation as Daphne. Well, thank God, bitch. Thank God you didn't end up in the exact same situation as Daphne. But if 50 Cent is your baby daddy, you are still being abused. Like, you were still probably being mistreated and talked too bad by this nigga, regardless Ugh, y'all, I hate when I be looking for something and I can't find it. Ugh, works my spirit, girl. Works my spirit. Let me see. Let's do 50 Cent and see if I can find something right quick. Ugh. Hold up, y'all. Acting stupid. But y'all comment and tell me what y'all think about that, because I feel like that's whack. I think that's whack the way y'all are responding to Diddy's victims. And they are victims. And they don't have to be innocent of everything in life. They don't have to be perfect in order to be victims of an abuser. Just like y'all don't have to be good people in order to be victims of a system that is exploiting your oppression. None of y'all have to be good people, and you can still be being exploited. Like, the fuck? Hold up. 50 Cent baby mama. Because y'all know 50 Cent loves to troll the women. He also loves to treat them badly and, you know, allegedly burn down their homes and shit. Okay, here we go. I found it. All right. So 50 Cent's first baby mama, Shaniqua Tompkins, throws major shade at Daphne Joy amid Diddy trial testimony rumors. Fun fact, I ain't never sell no cat. I'm from Queens, not the Philippines. Yeah, you think you didn't sell no cat having a baby for this nigga? And I'm gonna tell you, like, it's crazy because I know where that's coming from. This shit not even about Daphne. It's about the way that nigga treated you like you wasn't shit because you wasn't a Blasian persuasion, right? Here you go, y'all. I'm sorry. Here you go. 50 Cent's first baby mama, Shaniqua Tompkins. Fun fact, I ain't never sell no cat. I'm from Queens, not the Philippines. Oh, all right, girl. I guess you should have been a rapper like him. I guess you should have been a rapper, girl. But it's giving you pedestalizing yourself in a situation with a victim of a serial abuser by saying that you don't sell cat, as if having a baby for 50 Cent was not in some way selling cat, right? Doesn't he disrespect and can't stand y'all fucking son because you wanted child support? You've internalized that you shouldn't be asking for money. Is that right? Because that's what it's given, right? It's given that you've been told that you were the bad guy for so long because you wanted him to financially provide for you and your child as he was gaining more and more wealth. You wanted to also have that represented in your life because you had a baby with him. And then he kept telling you that you didn't deserve shit and that you wasn't shit, especially compared to these new women that he was able to get access to now that he's famous and has money, because those women would not have probably wanted his unattractive looking ass if he didn't have money. He would have just been a dirty, dusty, grimy street nigga, and she could do better. So why would she want to fuck with him? He has to have money in order for the Blasian girls to want to fuck with him. So instead of recognizing that he ain't shit, you've now internalized it, and now the Blasian girls are the whores, and you ain't never had to do that, so that makes you better than them. Girl, you should have got way more than you got. You should have got way more than you got. Daphne should have got way more than she got. I think Daphne said she not even suing this nigga. I don't know whether it was her or the previous Jane Doe that said they wasn't suing this nigga civilly. But the women deserve way, way, way more money than they're getting. I really don't care how y'all feel about these women. What they went through physically makes me feel like somebody need to be paying exorbitant amounts of money for my pain. For my coochie pain specifically. Like, I don't know, Matt, maybe y'all don't value y'all vaginas the way I value mine. But if I had went through what these women have gone through, motherfucker, there ain't a number that would be high enough for what you put me through. There ain't a number that would be high enough for what you put my body through. How you manipulated me. How you pretended that I was safe with you so that you could use me loving you against me. Bastardized my love for you, and now everybody turns around and makes it seem like it was all about the money, and you wasn't even giving me that much fucking money in the first place, bitch. To me, the reason why Daphne didn't get as much as y'all thought she would have got or should have got is because Daphne was already with somebody that made her devalue herself. That's why Diddy wasn't upset when he found out that she was with 50 Cent and they already had that beef happening. You know why he didn't care? Couple of reasons. First of all, nigga love to fuck they enemy old girl. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. That go back, like, niggas love to get back at a man by fucking their old lady, right? That's one thing. But the other thing was, oh, that mean that nigga didn't already put the work in, so I can come and save you, basically. He's already put the work in. If you was with him, I already know that you somebody I could mentally control. I ain't even got to hit you because all I got to do is raise my voice. All I got to do is call you a few times. All I got to do is tell you that, listen, bitch, you better do what the fuck I'm telling you to do. I don't have to hit you. He had to hit Cassie because Cassie had a different energy about her. You could tell that he hit Cassie because Cassie had fight. And whenever somebody has any type of fight inside of them, the abuser knows that they need to snuff that out. They need to go above and beyond to scare the person that has the fight. And that's what he did. That's why Cassie was getting her ass beat and Daphne wasn't. It was because as a true artist-like abuser, he knows what each person needs. Daphne didn't need for me to actually hit her. All I got to do is scream at her. She don't need me to hit her. But Cassie, she was a little bit more spunky. She was going to hit me back. She was going to curse me out. She was going to go find another nigga that was just, that was famous too. She was going to go find her another nigga. To me, all of the things that Cassie was doing showcased that Cassie had fight in her. She had fight in her. And he beat her to beat the fight out of her. Exactly. It's a pimp. He's a pimp. Well, I see there are so many of y'all, you still on, as if you've never been in any of my lives and know that they usually run tops 3 hours and 30 minutes. They usually run between an hour and a half and 3 hours and 30 minutes. We had a lot to cover today. I'm glad that 1,500 of y'all stuck around, but it low-key make me feel like y'all telling me I've been on here too long, as if y'all can't get off. But that's cool, because I'm done. Okay? All right. I'm going to go ahead and go. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And I'll see y'all next time, child. Tomorrow. I'm probably going to do members only tomorrow. I ain't going to come to the rest of y'all. I'll do members only tomorrow. But yeah, y'all. Peace out.